2,000 years ago, Marcus Aurelius held immense power. He was the emperor of Rome, commanding vast lands, legions of soldiers, and the fates of millions. He had the kind of authority that could have easily led him into decadence, despair, or madness. He could have indulged in luxuries, allowed stress to consume him, or let the overwhelming weight of his responsibilities break him. Yet, he didn't. Instead, he became a philosopher king, a man who carried his burdens with grace, wisdom, and remarkable resilience. What allowed Marcus to navigate such a tumultuous life while maintaining his sanity and strength? What was his secret to balancing the immense power and constant pressure without losing himself? The answer lies in the daily routine he cultivated, a series of habits, practices, and reflections that not only guided him through his personal and political challenges, but also fortified him mentally and physically. The beauty of Marcus Aurelius's life was not in grand displays of power or glory, but in how he approached each day with purpose and discipline. His routine was not one of extravagant excess or unchecked ambition. Rather, it was grounded in simple yet profoundly effective principles that anyone can adopt today. His routine was a masterclass in combining self-reflection, physical care, and an unwavering focus on what truly mattered: wisdom, virtue, and the pursuit of inner peace. Marcus's day began before the sun rose. He fought against the desire to stay in the warmth of his bed, knowing that each day presented opportunities for growth, challenges to face, and lessons to learn. Instead of indulging in comfort, he reminded himself that life was not meant to be easy, and comfort was not his purpose. His duty as a human being was to rise, face the day, and embrace his responsibilities. This simple act of rising early, with intention, set the tone for everything else. But Marcus didn't just leap into his duties. He took time for reflection. Before attending to the empire's demands, he engaged in deep contemplation. His writings in Meditations reveal that he knew the day would be filled with difficulties, ungrateful people, betrayals, and perhaps even war. But instead of letting these possibilities overwhelm him, he prepared himself mentally. He considered how he would respond with patience, wisdom, and calm. He knew that expecting perfection from the world was a recipe for disappointment, so instead he built resilience by anticipating adversity. This kind of mental preparation wasn't just about survival. It was about thriving in the face of challenges. By starting his day with reflection, Marcus Aurelius laid the foundation for emotional and mental strength. He prepared himself not by hoping for an easy day, but by steeling his mind for the inevitable hardships. Another critical aspect of Marcus Aurelius's daily life was his commitment to physical health. Despite his role as an emperor, he never neglected his body. He understood that the mind and body are intertwined, and the strength of one supports the other. Marcus believed in the power of physical exercise, not for vanity, but for endurance. Whether it was walking, practicing exercises with his soldiers, or engaging in physical training, he maintained a level of discipline that kept him fit and focused. In our modern world, we might not be leading armies into battle, but we face battles of our own: mental fatigue, physical sluggishness, and the constant stress of daily life. Like Marcus, we can use physical activity to keep ourselves grounded. It doesn't take hours at the gym or extreme sports. It's about consistency and movement. Marcus understood that maintaining physical health was not just for the body. It also fortified the mind, helping him stay sharp and resilient. Another cornerstone of Marcus Aurelius's life was his dedication to understanding and controlling what he could. He knew that much of life was beyond his control: the actions of others, the events of the world, and even his own mortality. But instead of letting this fact paralyze him, he embraced it. He focused on what he could control: his thoughts, his actions, and his responses to the world around him. This Stoic principle of focusing on what is within your control was central to his peace of mind. Marcus constantly reminded himself not to be distracted by things beyond his influence. He understood that his power as emperor didn't give him control over everything, and that trying to do so would only lead to frustration. By focusing his energy on his own behavior, he freed himself from the stress of the uncontrollable. This is a lesson for all of us today. The world is filled with distractions, uncertainties, and situations we cannot predict. But like Marcus, we can choose where to place our attention. We can direct our energy toward what we can change and let go of the rest. Another critical practice in Marcus Aurelius's daily routine was journaling. His personal reflections in meditations were not meant for anyone else's eyes. They were his way of processing his thoughts, analyzing his behavior, and committing himself to improvement. His writings reveal a man constantly evaluating his actions, asking himself how he could be better, more virtuous, and more aligned with his philosophical beliefs. Journaling can be a powerful tool in our own lives as well. By putting our thoughts on paper, we can better understand our emotions, identify patterns in our behavior, and track our personal growth. It's not about writing lengthy essays, but about regularly checking in with ourselves. What did we do well today? Where did we fall short? How can we improve tomorrow? These simple reflections can lead to profound personal growth over time. As Marcus Aurelius's day drew to a close, he ended it as thoughtfully as he began. He would take time in the evening to reflect once more. What had the day taught him? Where had he succeeded in living according to his Stoic principles? And where had he faltered? This evening reflection was his way of resetting his intentions for the next day. It allowed him to approach life with a clear mind, ready to face the future with a calm spirit. His evening reflection was also a time for gratitude. Despite the immense pressures of ruling an empire, Marcus always found reasons to be thankful. He expressed gratitude for the challenges that made him stronger, for the lessons learned through hardship, and for the small moments of peace he could find amidst the chaos. Gratitude for Marcus Aurelius wasn't a fleeting feeling. It was a practice. It was a conscious choice to focus on what was good, even in difficult times. This practice of gratitude helped him maintain perspective and avoid becoming consumed by the stresses of life. In our own lives, gratitude can be the antidote to negativity. By regularly acknowledging the good, we can shift our focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. In the end, the daily routine of Marcus Aurelius wasn't just about managing an empire. It was about managing himself. It was about building habits that strengthened his mind, body, and spirit. These practices, reflection, physical care, focusing on what's within our control, journaling, and gratitude, are timeless. They're as relevant today as they were 2,000 years ago. By incorporating these habits into our own lives, we can build the resilience, focus, and peace of mind that Marcus Aurelius exemplified. His daily routine was the foundation of his strength, and it can be the foundation of ours too. The life of Marcus Aurelius was not one of luxury, even though he could have chosen that path. He led a life defined by discipline, wisdom, and a relentless pursuit of inner peace. What set Marcus apart was not the power he held, but the way he carried that power with humility and self-awareness. Every day he refined his mind and body with a carefully crafted routine that allowed him to stay focused, resilient, and centered. This was the key to his greatness, a daily practice that built him into the person we admire today, despite the relentless pressures he faced. And now, you have the chance to understand and apply these timeless habits to your own life. There's something profoundly grounding in the way Marcus began his day. He didn't let the demands of an empire pull him out of bed. Instead, he greeted each morning with purpose. His first task was mental, preparing himself for the world's challenges. This was more than a routine, it was a way of fortifying his mind. By starting the day reflecting on the difficulties he might face, Marcus was able to move through his day with clarity. He did not resist the reality of life, but embraced it, ready to meet whatever came his way with strength and grace. Marcus didn't rush to his responsibilities. Before engaging with others, he carved out moments for solitude. He knew that stillness was the foundation of inner peace. Quiet moments in the early hours allowed him to connect with his deeper self, keeping him grounded before the noise of the day began. These moments of reflection weren't about avoiding the world, but about preparing to face it with intention and balance. This practice of starting with stillness provided him the mental clarity that carried him through even the toughest of days. Part of this clarity came from a practice of self-honesty. Marcus regularly checked in with himself, evaluating his thoughts and feelings. He knew that self-deception could be as dangerous as external threats. In these moments of reflection, he asked himself hard questions about his actions and motivations. This habit allowed him to stay true to his principles, ensuring that he acted with integrity, even when it wasn't easy. It's a lesson we can all use. Honesty with ourselves leads to authenticity in everything we do. Physical movement was just as important to Marcus as mental reflection. He understood the connection between body and mind. Without a healthy body, his mind wouldn't have the strength to focus. His days often included some form of physical activity, whether it was training with soldiers or taking long walks. This wasn't about physical prowess, but maintaining a disciplined body that could carry him through life's challenges. Physical care, in Marcus's life, was an act of self-respect. Marcus knew that a disciplined body contributed to a disciplined mind. He avoided excesses, whether in food, drink, or other pleasures, understanding that indulgence could cloud his judgment. His relationship with the physical world was one of moderation. He enjoyed what life had to offer, but never let it control him. This moderation gave him the freedom to focus on more important things: wisdom, virtue, and self-improvement. Through this balance, he built the strength to resist temptations that could lead him astray. Throughout the day, Marcus paid careful attention to where his mind wandered. He practiced staying present in each task, knowing that distraction would only pull him away from his purpose. This ability to stay focused allowed him to make better decisions and avoid unnecessary mistakes. In our fast-paced world, we often overlook the power of focus. But Marcus knew that true strength lies in the ability to direct your attention to what matters most and let go of what doesn't. By maintaining focus, Marcus stayed grounded in the present moment. He didn't waste time worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. Instead, he gave each moment his full attention, knowing that life is made up of these small moments, each one building on the last. This simple yet powerful approach allowed him to live with a sense of peace, even when the world around him was chaotic. When we apply this to our own lives, we too can find calm in the storm. Marcus also understood that some things were beyond his control. He didn't waste energy trying to change things he couldn't influence. Instead, he focused on what he could control: his thoughts, actions, and responses. This practice helped him let go of unnecessary worry, freeing his mind for more important tasks. It's a lesson we can all learn. By focusing on what we can control, we free ourselves from the anxiety of the uncontrollable. One of the most powerful lessons Marcus practiced was letting go of outcomes. He knew that he could only control his effort, not the results. This gave him the freedom to act without fear of failure. Whether in battle, governance, or personal interactions, Marcus gave his best effort and accepted whatever came next with grace. This approach allowed him to live without regret, knowing that he had done everything in his power to act wisely and justly. When challenges arose, Marcus didn't shy away. Instead, he met them head-on with a calm mind. He practiced the Stoic principle of preparing for adversity by imagining the worst outcomes. This wasn't to create fear, but to build resilience. By mentally rehearsing how he would respond to difficulties, Marcus strengthened his ability to stay composed no matter what came his way. It's a strategy we can all use. By preparing for challenges, we reduce the impact they have on us. A vital part of Marcus's resilience came from his ability to accept failure. He didn't view mistakes as a reflection of his worth, but as opportunities to learn. This mindset allowed him to grow from every experience, whether it was a victory or a setback. He knew that perfection was unattainable, but progress was always within reach. By embracing failure, Marcus freed himself from the pressure of being flawless, focusing instead on becoming better with each passing day. Even as an emperor, Marcus never considered himself above anyone else. He practiced humility in his thoughts and actions, recognizing that we all share the same human struggles. This humility grounded him and kept his ego in check. He didn't let power corrupt him, nor did he allow success to inflate his sense of self. Instead, he approached each situation with an open heart and mind, always looking for ways to serve others and grow as a person. Marcus's humility extended to his interactions with others. He listened carefully, even to those he disagreed with, knowing that everyone has something valuable to offer. This openness allowed him to learn from every conversation and avoid unnecessary conflict. He didn't see differences as threats, but as opportunities to broaden his understanding of the world. By treating others with respect, Marcus fostered relationships built on trust and mutual growth. Despite the immense pressures of his role, Marcus always found time for gratitude. He didn't wait for grand gestures or moments of success to feel thankful. Instead, he practiced gratitude in the smallest of things, from the lessons learned through hardship to the beauty of nature. This daily practice of gratitude helped him maintain a positive outlook, even when faced with challenges that would overwhelm most people. By focusing on the good, he strengthened his resilience against the bad. Marcus knew that life was short, and he used this awareness to fuel his purpose. He reminded himself daily that each moment was a gift, not to be wasted. This practice of reflecting on mortality, known as memento mori, allowed him to stay focused on what truly mattered. He didn't let trivial concerns consume him, knowing that time was too precious to be spent on things that didn't contribute to his growth or the well-being of others. This constant awareness of life's fragility also made Marcus more compassionate. He knew that everyone he encountered was facing their own struggles, and this knowledge softened his approach. He treated others with kindness, even when they were difficult or ungrateful. Marcus understood that being patient with others was not only an act of grace, but also a reflection of his own inner strength. Journaling played a crucial role in Marcus's daily life. It allowed him to process his thoughts, reflect on his actions, and commit to personal improvement. This wasn't just a casual habit, it was a vital tool for self-mastery. By writing down his thoughts, Marcus could see his own patterns of behavior more clearly and make adjustments where needed. This simple practice kept him aligned with his values and helped him stay on the path of growth. In his journal, Marcus often reflected on how he could be a better person, not just as an emperor, but as a human being. He wasn't afraid to admit his flaws, knowing that acknowledging them was the first step toward overcoming them. This honesty with himself allowed Marcus to continually evolve, always striving to be better than he was the day before. His journal was not just a record of his life, but a tool for shaping his future. At the end of each day, Marcus engaged in another round of reflection. He reviewed his actions, noted where he had succeeded in living according to his principles, and identified areas for improvement. This practice wasn't about self-criticism, but about growth. By ending his day with reflection, Marcus prepared himself to face the next with renewed clarity and purpose. This nightly ritual helped him stay grounded and focused on his long-term goals. In moments of stress, Marcus would retreat into his inner world. He believed that true peace could only be found within, not in external circumstances. This inward focus allowed him to stay calm, even when the world around him was in chaos. By practicing this inner retreat, Marcus built a fortress of calm within himself, one that no external event could breach. This practice of cultivating inner peace is something we can all adopt, allowing us to remain steady in the face of life's storms. Marcus's relationship with time was also unique. He understood that each moment was fleeting and that wasting time was a form of self-sabotage. He approached each day with a sense of urgency, not in a hurried way, but with the knowledge that time was his most valuable resource. This awareness drove him to make the most of every moment, focusing on what truly mattered and letting go of distractions. Despite his intense focus on productivity, Marcus also knew the importance of rest. He didn't push himself to exhaustion, but recognized that rest was an essential part of maintaining his strength. He made time for sleep, relaxation, and moments of quiet reflection. This balance between action and rest allowed him to maintain his energy and stay sharp, even in the most demanding of times. Marcus also valued the power of nature. He often spent time in nature, whether walking through the countryside or simply observing the beauty of the world around him. This connection to nature provided him with a sense of peace and perspective. Nature reminded him of the greater forces at play in the universe, helping him maintain a sense of humility and awe in the face of life's complexities. Throughout his life, Marcus was committed to learning. He never stopped seeking knowledge, whether through reading, studying philosophy, or engaging in deep conversations with others. He knew that wisdom was a lifelong pursuit, and he remained a student of life until the very end. This dedication to learning kept his mind sharp and his spirit humble. In everything he did, Marcus Aurelius practiced patience. He didn't rush to judgment, nor did he act impulsively. He allowed himself time to consider his options, reflect on his values, and choose the path that aligned with his principles. This patience was not a sign of weakness, but of strength. It allowed him to act with wisdom, even in the most challenging of circumstances. Marcus's ability to stay calm in difficult situations was a result of his daily practices. His routine was not about achieving perfection, but about building the strength to meet life's challenges with grace. Through reflection, physical care, focus, and patience, Marcus created a life of purpose, wisdom, and inner peace. His daily routine, though simple, was powerful. It was the foundation of his strength, the source of his wisdom, and the key to his resilience. And by adopting these practices, you too can build a life of clarity, focus, and peace. As Marcus Aurelius's day progressed, his strength came from the simple routines that anchored him. The habits he embraced not only prepared him to face the world with resilience, but also created an unshakable foundation for peace of mind. Yet, this balance didn't arise from grand gestures. It came from the smaller moments, the quiet reflections that shaped his day from the very beginning. His ability to meet life's challenges with calm wasn't just an accident. It was a result of how he started each day, a practice that set the tone for everything that followed. In the quiet of the early morning, Marcus Aurelius began his day with purpose. Before the world's demands could distract him, he took time to center himself. This wasn't just a pause, it was an intentional act of preparing his mind for the day ahead. He understood that the way you start your morning defines the kind of day you will have. By focusing on reflection in the morning, he created a mental shield against the distractions and difficulties that would inevitably come. The morning was sacred to Marcus. It was the time when his mind was clearest, free from the distractions that later filled his day. He used these moments to remind himself of the virtues he wanted to embody: patience, kindness, and understanding. These weren't just abstract concepts for him. They were principles he lived by. Each morning, he recommitted himself to living in alignment with these values, knowing that this mental preparation was key to navigating life's challenges with grace. Marcus knew that the world would test him. Difficult people, unforeseen events, and the weight of leadership were constant parts of his life. But instead of letting these forces control him, he controlled how he responded to them. His morning reflection was a way to arm himself mentally. He didn't avoid thinking about the challenges. Rather, he faced them head-on in his mind, imagining how he would stay composed. This allowed him to approach the day with a sense of calm, no matter what it threw at him. Each morning, Marcus reminded himself that adversity was inevitable. He didn't start his day with unrealistic expectations that everything would go smoothly. He anticipated that there would be struggles, whether it was dealing with difficult people or facing unexpected obstacles. But this wasn't pessimism. Instead, it was a form of mental preparation that gave him the strength to remain patient and resilient. By facing challenges mentally before they occurred, Marcus could handle them with far greater ease when they arose. Part of this preparation was a deep acceptance of reality. Marcus didn't waste time wishing for an easier life. He accepted the difficulties of his role and the imperfections of the world around him. His reflections helped him let go of the desire for control over things that were beyond his influence. This acceptance freed him from frustration and anxiety, allowing him to focus on what he could control: his own actions, thoughts, and reactions. In these quiet moments, Marcus also reminded himself of his purpose. His reflections weren't just about preparing for challenges. They were about remembering why he faced those challenges in the first place. He knew that every day was an opportunity to live according to his values and to serve the greater good. This sense of purpose guided him through the day, making even the hardest tasks meaningful. It was this deep connection to purpose that gave Marcus the strength to persevere when others might have faltered. The morning also offered Marcus the chance to reconnect with his inner self, away from the noise of the world. It was a time for stillness, where he could reflect on his thoughts and actions without external pressure. This practice of self-awareness was critical to his emotional resilience. By knowing himself deeply, Marcus was able to stay grounded in his values, even when the world around him was chaotic. This inner connection allowed him to act from a place of strength and clarity. Marcus Aurelius used his morning reflections to cultivate gratitude, even in the face of difficulty. He didn't wait for perfect circumstances to feel thankful. Instead, he found gratitude in the challenges themselves, seeing them as opportunities for growth. This mindset helped him maintain a positive outlook, even when the world around him seemed dark. It's a lesson we can all learn. Gratitude isn't about waiting for the good. It's about seeing the good in everything, even the hard parts. During these reflections, Marcus often focused on the Stoic idea of memento mori, the reminder of death. This wasn't a morbid thought for him. It was a way to stay focused on what truly mattered. By reflecting on the impermanence of life, Marcus was able to let go of trivial concerns and focus on living with purpose and integrity. He knew that time was fleeting, and this awareness pushed him to make the most of each day. Marcus's morning routine was also a time to let go of the past. He understood that holding on to past mistakes or regrets would only cloud his mind and prevent him from moving forward. Each morning, he reflected on what he could learn from the past, but he didn't dwell on it. Instead, he focused on how he could improve today, understanding that the present moment was all he truly had control over. This ability to release the past allowed him to approach each day with a fresh perspective. In his reflections, Marcus often thought about the people he would encounter that day. He knew that not everyone would be kind, patient, or understanding, but instead of letting this frustrate him, he prepared himself to meet these people with compassion and patience. He reminded himself that everyone is fighting their own battles, and this understanding helped him approach others with kindness, even when they were difficult to deal with. This practice of compassion was central to his ability to maintain strong relationships, both as an emperor and as a human being. Morning reflection wasn't just about preparing for the day's challenges, it was also a time for Marcus to set his intentions. He would think about the kind of person he wanted to be that day: a leader, a father, a philosopher. By setting these intentions, he created a mental map for how he would navigate the day's events. This gave him a sense of control over his actions, even when the world around him felt unpredictable. It's a powerful practice that can help us all stay focused on our values, no matter what life throws at us. Another important aspect of Marcus's morning reflection was his focus on balance. He knew that life wasn't just about work or responsibilities. It was also about finding moments of peace, joy, and connection. Each morning, he reminded himself to seek balance throughout the day, whether that meant taking time for himself, spending time with loved ones, or simply appreciating the beauty around him. This focus on balance helped him stay grounded, even when life became overwhelming. Marcus's reflections were also a way for him to practice mindfulness. He trained his mind to stay present, even in the face of distractions. By starting his day with focused reflection, he was able to carry that mindfulness throughout the day, staying fully engaged in whatever task he was working on. This ability to be present in the moment allowed him to make better decisions, avoid unnecessary stress, and find peace in even the smallest moments. Through his morning reflections, Marcus developed a deep sense of patience. He knew that the world wouldn't always move at his pace, and that things wouldn't always go according to plan. But instead of letting this frustrate him, he practiced patience, understanding that time would unfold as it was meant to. This patience gave him the strength to persevere through long days and difficult situations without becoming overwhelmed or discouraged. Marcus also used his morning reflections to remind himself of the power of choice. He knew that while he couldn't control the events of the day, he could always control how he responded to them. This gave him a sense of empowerment, even in the face of adversity. By starting his day with this reminder, he reinforced his ability to stay calm and composed, no matter what happened. It's a practice we can all adopt, to remind ourselves each morning that we have the power to choose our responses, even when life feels out of control. Each morning, Marcus would reflect on the importance of humility. Despite his immense power, he never allowed himself to become arrogant. He knew that true strength came from humility, from recognizing that there was always more to learn and room to grow. This humility kept him grounded, even in the face of praise or success. It also helped him maintain perspective, understanding that no matter how much power he held, he was still just a man, subject to the same struggles and challenges as everyone else. Marcus's morning reflections were also a time to focus on self-discipline. He knew that living a virtuous life required discipline, both in thought and action. Each morning, he recommitted himself to this discipline, understanding that it was the foundation of his strength. Whether it was controlling his temper, avoiding distractions, or staying true to his values, Marcus practiced self-discipline in every aspect of his life. This discipline allowed him to navigate the complexities of leadership with integrity and focus. Through his morning reflections, Marcus also cultivated a sense of inner peace. He knew that peace couldn't be found in the external world, but only within himself. By starting each day with quiet reflection, he created a sense of calm that carried him through even the most turbulent days. This inner peace wasn't something that came naturally. It was something he actively cultivated through his thoughts and actions. And by starting each day with reflection, Marcus ensured that he stayed connected to that peace, no matter what challenges arose. Morning reflection also helped Marcus stay connected to his purpose. He didn't just see his role as emperor as a position of power. It was a responsibility to serve others. Each morning, he reminded himself of this purpose, understanding that his actions had a direct impact on the people he led. This sense of responsibility gave him the motivation to act with wisdom and compassion, even when the pressures of leadership felt overwhelming. In his morning reflections, Marcus often thought about the importance of service. He didn't see leadership as a way to elevate himself, but as an opportunity to serve others. This mindset helped him stay grounded, even when faced with difficult decisions. By starting each day with a focus on service, Marcus was able to lead with humility and compassion, always putting the needs of others before his own. Another key aspect of Marcus's morning reflection was his focus on gratitude. He didn't wait for grand successes or moments of happiness to feel grateful. Instead, he found gratitude in the smallest moments, whether it was the quiet of the morning or the lessons learned from a difficult day. This practice of gratitude helped him stay positive, even when the world around him felt overwhelming. It's a lesson we can all learn. By focusing on what we're grateful for, we can find joy in even the hardest of times. Marcus also used his morning reflections to let go of expectations. He knew that life rarely went according to plan, and that holding on to rigid expectations would only lead to disappointment. Instead, he embraced the unpredictability of life, understanding that every day would bring new challenges and opportunities. This mindset allowed him to stay flexible, adapting to whatever the day brought with grace and resilience. In his reflections, Marcus often focused on the importance of letting go of judgment. He knew that judging others or himself harshly would only create unnecessary stress and conflict. Instead, he practiced acceptance, understanding that everyone was doing the best they could with the knowledge and resources they had. This acceptance helped him maintain strong relationships and avoid unnecessary conflict, allowing him to approach others with kindness and understanding. Through his morning reflections, Marcus also developed a deep sense of empathy. He understood that everyone he encountered was facing their own struggles, and this knowledge helped him approach others with compassion. By starting his day with this mindset, Marcus was able to navigate the complexities of leadership with grace, always keeping the needs of others in mind. It's a practice we can all adopt, to start each day with empathy, understanding that everyone is fighting their own battles. Morning reflection also helped Marcus maintain a sense of balance in his life. He knew that while work was important, so too was rest, connection, and self-care. Each morning, he reminded himself to seek balance throughout the day, whether that meant taking time for himself, spending time with loved ones, or simply appreciating the beauty around him. This focus on balance helped him stay grounded, even when life became overwhelming. Another important aspect of Marcus's morning reflection was his focus on resilience. He knew that life would bring challenges, but he also knew that he had the strength to overcome them. Each morning, he reminded himself of this inner strength, knowing that no matter what happened, he had the power to persevere. This mindset gave him the confidence to face even the hardest days with grace and determination. Through his morning reflections, Marcus also cultivated a sense of detachment. He understood that while he could influence the world around him, he couldn't control it. This detachment allowed him to stay calm in the face of disappointment, knowing that his worth wasn't tied to external success. By starting each day with this mindset, Marcus was able to stay focused on his own actions rather than getting caught up in the outcomes. Morning reflection also helped Marcus stay connected to his inner wisdom. He didn't rely on external validation or praise to guide his actions. Instead, he trusted his own inner compass, knowing that his values and principles would lead him in the right direction. This trust in himself gave him the strength to make difficult decisions, even when others doubted him. Through his morning reflections, Marcus also cultivated a sense of purpose. He didn't see his role as emperor as just a job. It was a calling. Each morning, he reminded himself of this purpose, understanding that his actions had a direct impact on the people he led. This sense of responsibility gave him the motivation to act with wisdom and compassion, even when the pressures of leadership felt overwhelming. Marcus's morning reflections were also a time for him to reconnect with his values. He knew that living a virtuous life required constant effort and attention. Each morning, he recommitted himself to these values, understanding that they were the foundation of his strength. This daily practice of reflection helped him stay aligned with his principles, even in the face of temptation or distraction. Through his morning reflections, Marcus also developed a deep sense of inner peace. He knew that peace couldn't be found in the external world, but only within himself. By starting each day with quiet reflection, he created a sense of calm that carried him through even the most turbulent days. This inner peace wasn't something that came naturally. It was something he actively cultivated through his thoughts and actions. Finally, Marcus's morning reflections were a time for him to practice self-compassion. He knew that he wasn't perfect and that he would make mistakes along the way. But instead of being harsh with himself, he practiced forgiveness, understanding that growth came from learning from his mistakes. This self-compassion allowed him to move through life with grace, always striving to be better without being weighed down by guilt or regret. In these morning moments, Marcus Aurelius laid the foundation for his day. By reflecting on his thoughts, actions, and values, he prepared himself to meet the world with strength, resilience, and inner peace. And it's a practice we can all adopt. By starting each day with reflection, we too can build the mental and emotional strength needed to navigate life's challenges with grace. As Marcus Aurelius centered himself each morning with reflective practices, he laid the foundation for a focused and purposeful day. His ability to maintain this balance came not only from mental preparation, but also from the calm and clarity he cultivated through meditation. While reflection helped him set his intentions, meditation was the tool that allowed him to clear his mind, reset his thoughts, and enter the day with sharp focus. This practice was essential for keeping his thoughts organized and his emotions steady, even when the world around him became chaotic. Meditation played a significant role in helping Marcus stay calm, even in the face of immense pressure. He recognized that a calm mind was not something that happened by chance. It was something to be nurtured and developed. Through a simple but intentional practice, Marcus was able to step away from the noise of his responsibilities and create a space of quiet in his mind. This allowed him to face each day with clarity, unburdened by the distractions that often cloud our thoughts. Marcus's meditation practice wasn't elaborate or mystical. It was rooted in Stoic simplicity, focusing on the present moment and the breath. By dedicating just a few minutes each morning to this practice, Marcus was able to achieve a level of mental clarity that helped him tackle the most complex decisions and challenges. He knew that the mind, when calm and focused, was the most powerful tool he had as a leader and philosopher. This practice of clearing the mind was essential to his mental discipline. Marcus knew that clarity came not from thinking about everything at once, but from allowing the mind to settle. He would sit in silence, focusing on his breath, and allow his thoughts to pass by without judgment. This practice of non-attachment to thoughts helped Marcus sharpen his ability to concentrate on what truly mattered and let go of mental clutter that could distract him from his purpose. As Marcus meditated, he trained his mind to be present. This was crucial in helping him stay grounded in the current moment, rather than being pulled into worries about the future or regrets about the past. Meditation anchored him, helping him maintain his emotional equilibrium throughout the day. This presence of mind gave him the ability to handle even the most unexpected events with grace and composure. Marcus's meditation practice also helped him cultivate a sense of inner stillness. This stillness wasn't about avoiding life's challenges, but about creating a space within himself where he could retreat when the external world became overwhelming. In moments of stress or conflict, Marcus could return to this inner stillness, allowing him to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. It was this calm response that set him apart as a leader, and it was nurtured through his daily practice of meditation. By focusing on his breath, Marcus Aurelius learned to regulate his emotions. The breath became a tool for him to calm himself in moments of tension, ensuring that his actions were always thoughtful rather than driven by emotion. This simple practice gave him mastery over his mind, enabling him to stay steady in the face of chaos. The ability to control his breath meant that Marcus could maintain control over his thoughts and emotions, no matter the circumstances. Through meditation, Marcus cultivated a sense of clarity that allowed him to see his thoughts and emotions more objectively. He didn't allow himself to get swept away by his feelings, but rather observed them from a distance, recognizing that they were temporary. This objectivity helped him make decisions based on reason and wisdom, rather than being influenced by fleeting emotions. The clarity he gained through meditation was essential to his ability to lead with integrity and fairness. Marcus's practice of clearing his mind each morning was also a way to prepare himself for the day's tasks. He understood that a cluttered mind would lead to scattered attention and poor decision-making. By starting the day with a clear mind, Marcus could focus entirely on the tasks at hand, without being distracted by unnecessary worries or thoughts. This focus allowed him to work efficiently and with purpose, knowing that his mind was free from distractions. Meditation also helped Marcus develop resilience. He knew that challenges were inevitable, but by maintaining a clear and calm mind, he was better equipped to handle them. The clarity he achieved through meditation gave him the ability to approach problems with a calm, rational mindset, rather than being overwhelmed by them. This resilience wasn't about avoiding hardship, but about facing it with a steady mind, prepared for whatever came his way. In the quiet moments of meditation, Marcus was able to reconnect with his inner self. This practice of self-awareness helped him stay aligned with his values and principles, even in the face of external pressures. By regularly checking in with himself through meditation, Marcus ensured that his actions were always in line with his deeper sense of purpose. This self-connection gave him the strength to stay true to his beliefs, no matter the challenges he faced. The simplicity of Marcus's meditation practice was key to its effectiveness. He didn't need elaborate rituals or extended periods of silence to achieve clarity. Instead, he focused on the essentials: the breath, the present moment, and the mind. By keeping his practice simple, Marcus made it accessible and sustainable, ensuring that it became a daily habit rather than a fleeting activity. This consistency was the foundation of his mental clarity and focus. Meditation also helped Marcus develop patience. By sitting in silence and observing his thoughts without reacting to them, he learned to cultivate patience with himself and with others. This practice of patience extended beyond his meditation and into his daily life, allowing him to remain calm and composed in even the most trying situations. The patience he developed through meditation made him a more compassionate leader and a more grounded individual. Through meditation, Marcus learned the importance of letting go. He understood that holding on to thoughts, emotions, or expectations would only create mental clutter. In his practice, he trained himself to let go of anything that didn't serve his purpose, whether it was a passing worry or an emotional reaction. This ability to release what was unnecessary helped Marcus stay focused on what truly mattered and avoid being weighed down by distractions. Meditation wasn't just a practice of stillness for Marcus, it was also a practice of renewal. Each morning, he used meditation to reset his mind and prepare himself for the day ahead. This renewal allowed him to approach each day with fresh energy and focus, leaving behind the mental baggage of the previous day. It was through this practice that Marcus was able to maintain a sense of mental clarity and calm, even when life became overwhelming. Marcus's meditation practice also helped him develop a deep sense of self-discipline. By committing to this daily practice, he reinforced his ability to stay focused and intentional in all areas of his life. Meditation became a training ground for his mind, where he could practice the discipline of staying present and letting go of distractions. This discipline carried over into his work and personal life, allowing him to approach each task with full attention and dedication. Through meditation, Marcus Aurelius was able to cultivate a sense of balance. He knew that life was full of challenges, but through his practice, he maintained a steady mind that wasn't easily swayed by external events. This balance allowed him to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace, knowing that his inner state remained unchanged by the chaos of the world around him. Meditation gave him the tools to maintain this balance, even in the most difficult circumstances. The practice of meditation also helped Marcus develop humility. In the stillness of meditation, he was reminded that he was just one small part of a much larger universe. This sense of perspective helped him stay grounded, even as the most powerful man in the world. By regularly reflecting on his place in the world through meditation, Marcus was able to maintain humility and avoid the arrogance that so often accompanies power. In the quiet of meditation, Marcus also found space for gratitude. Each day, he took time to reflect on the things he was thankful for, whether it was the opportunity to serve others or the lessons he had learned through hardship. This practice of gratitude helped Marcus maintain a positive outlook, even when life was difficult. It reminded him that there was always something to be thankful for, no matter the challenges he faced. Meditation allowed Marcus to reconnect with his sense of purpose each day. In the quiet moments of reflection, he reminded himself of why he was doing the work he was doing and how his actions contributed to the greater good. This sense of purpose gave him the motivation to continue, even when the weight of leadership felt overwhelming. Meditation wasn't just a practice of clearing the mind for Marcus, it was a way to refocus on what truly mattered. Marcus also used meditation as a tool for problem solving. In the stillness of his practice, he would often find clarity on issues that had previously seemed overwhelming. By stepping back and clearing his mind, Marcus was able to see problems from a new perspective, allowing him to approach them with fresh insight and creativity. This ability to find solutions through meditation helped him navigate the complexities of leadership with wisdom and ease. Through meditation, Marcus was able to cultivate a deep sense of emotional resilience. He understood that emotions, like thoughts, were fleeting, and that by observing them without attachment, he could maintain a sense of inner calm. This emotional resilience allowed him to stay steady in the face of conflict, disappointment, or fear. He didn't let his emotions control him, but rather acknowledged them and let them pass, always returning to a place of calm. Marcus's meditation practice also helped him develop compassion, both for himself and for others. In the quiet moments of reflection, he was able to see his own struggles and challenges more clearly, and this understanding made him more empathetic toward the struggles of others. Meditation helped him cultivate kindness and patience, which he carried into his interactions with those around him. Meditation gave Marcus the ability to stay present throughout the day. By starting his morning with this practice, he was able to carry a sense of mindfulness into his work, ensuring that he gave his full attention to whatever task was at hand. This presence of mind helped him avoid distractions and stay focused on what was important, whether it was making decisions as a leader or spending time with his family. The practice of meditation also helped Marcus develop a sense of detachment. He understood that while he could influence the world around him, he couldn't control it. This detachment allowed him to stay calm in the face of disappointment, knowing that his worth wasn't tied to external success. Meditation reinforced this mindset, helping Marcus stay focused on his own actions and letting go of outcomes he couldn't control. Marcus's meditation practice also strengthened his ability to handle stress. He knew that the pressures of leadership were immense, but through meditation, he was able to find moments of peace amidst the chaos. This peace wasn't something that came from external circumstances. It came from within. By regularly practicing meditation, Marcus was able to return to this place of inner calm whenever the world around him became overwhelming. In the stillness of meditation, Marcus found clarity. This clarity wasn't just about organizing his thoughts, it was about seeing his life and his purpose with fresh eyes each day. Meditation helped him stay connected to his higher purpose, ensuring that his actions were always aligned with his values. This clarity gave Marcus the strength to persevere through even the hardest days, knowing that his work was meaningful. Through his daily meditation practice, Marcus also developed a deep sense of patience. He knew that life didn't always move at the pace he wanted, but meditation taught him to be at peace with the flow of time. This patience extended beyond his meditation and into his daily life, allowing him to approach challenges with a calm, measured response rather than frustration. Meditation was also a way for Marcus to practice forgiveness, both for himself and for others. In the quiet moments of reflection, he would often reflect on the mistakes he had made or the wrongs others had done to him. Rather than holding on to anger or resentment, Marcus used meditation to let go of these negative emotions, freeing himself from the burden of grudges and regrets. Through his meditation practice, Marcus developed a deep sense of self-awareness. He was able to observe his thoughts, emotions, and reactions without judgment, allowing him to understand himself more fully. This self-awareness helped him navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom, as he was able to recognize his own patterns of behavior and make adjustments where necessary. Marcus's meditation practice wasn't just about finding peace in the moment, it was about cultivating a sense of peace that lasted throughout the day. By starting each morning with this practice, he set the tone for a day of clarity, focus, and calm. This peace of mind wasn't something that came naturally, it was something he actively cultivated through his daily practice. Through meditation, Marcus also developed a deep sense of perspective. He knew that the challenges he faced, while significant, were just one part of the larger picture of life. This perspective helped him stay grounded, even when the world around him seemed chaotic. Meditation reminded him that no matter how overwhelming life felt, there was always a greater sense of purpose and meaning to hold on to. Meditation also helped Marcus cultivate resilience. He knew that life would bring difficulties, but through his practice, he built the mental strength to face them with calm and clarity. This resilience wasn't about avoiding hardship, but about facing it with a steady mind, prepared for whatever came his way. Meditation gave him the tools to navigate life's challenges with grace and determination. Marcus's meditation practice also reinforced his commitment to humility. In the stillness of meditation, he was reminded that he was just one small part of a much larger universe. This sense of perspective helped him stay grounded, even as the most powerful man in the world. By regularly reflecting on his place in the world through meditation, Marcus was able to maintain humility and avoid the arrogance that so often accompanies power. Through meditation, Marcus was able to cultivate a deep sense of compassion. In the quiet moments of reflection, he was able to see his own struggles and challenges more clearly, and this understanding made him more empathetic toward the struggles of others. Meditation helped him cultivate kindness and patience, which he carried into his interactions with those around him. In the quiet of meditation, Marcus found space for gratitude. Each day, he took time to reflect on the things he was thankful for, whether it was the opportunity to serve others or the lessons he had learned through hardship. This practice of gratitude helped Marcus maintain a positive outlook, even when life was difficult. It reminded him that there was always something to be thankful for, no matter the challenges he faced. Meditation also helped Marcus develop a sense of detachment. He understood that while he could influence the world around him, he couldn't control it. This detachment allowed him to stay calm in the face of disappointment, knowing that his worth wasn't tied to external success. Meditation reinforced this mindset, helping Marcus stay focused on his own actions and letting go of outcomes he couldn't control. Through meditation, Marcus developed a deep sense of clarity and focus that allowed him to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and grace. His ability to clear his mind each morning wasn't just a personal habit. It was a tool that helped him lead with integrity, compassion, and strength. By adopting this simple practice, we too can cultivate the mental clarity and focus needed to live a life of purpose and resilience. As Marcus Aurelius completed his moments of morning meditation, he prepared not only to face the day ahead, but also to meet its inevitable challenges with calm and strength. His ability to handle adversity wasn't a result of luck or optimism. It was the product of careful mental preparation. Marcus embraced a practice that allowed him to build resilience long before any hardship or difficult person crossed his path. This was the Stoic technique of premeditatio malorum, the anticipation of adversity, a tool that strengthened him against the unexpected. For Marcus, resilience wasn't about hoping for the best and ignoring potential problems. He faced life head-on by expecting challenges and mentally preparing for how he would respond. This practice didn't make him pessimistic. Instead, it freed him from the shock and emotional turmoil that often come with sudden difficulties. He knew that by preparing himself mentally for the worst, he could maintain his composure when those moments arrived. Each morning, Marcus would reflect on the difficulties he might face that day. He would think about the people who might frustrate him, the setbacks that could arise, or the pressures that might build up. Rather than allowing these thoughts to create anxiety, Marcus used them to build mental strength. He considered how he could meet each potential challenge with patience and wisdom, ensuring that he wouldn't be caught off guard. This practice allowed Marcus to anticipate negative situations without letting them overwhelm him. He didn't dwell on worst-case scenarios. Instead, he thought critically about how he would act. This mental rehearsal of adversity gave him a clear plan for maintaining his composure no matter what happened. By training his mind to expect challenges, Marcus made himself unshakable in the face of difficulties. Marcus also understood that not all challenges were external. Often the hardest battles were the ones within his own mind, battles against fear, anger, or frustration. He used premeditatio malorum to prepare himself for these internal struggles as well. By acknowledging that his own emotions could sometimes be the greatest obstacles, Marcus developed strategies to overcome them. He didn't ignore his feelings, but he ensured that they didn't control him. Through this practice, Marcus cultivated a mindset of acceptance. He knew that adversity was inevitable, and by accepting this truth, he freed himself from unnecessary worry. He didn't waste time hoping for a life without difficulties. Instead, he embraced the fact that challenges were part of the human experience. This acceptance gave him the power to approach each day with calm confidence, knowing that he was prepared for whatever came his way. One of the most powerful aspects of premeditatio malorum was that it helped Marcus remain grounded in the present moment. By acknowledging potential future difficulties, he could then set them aside and focus on the task at hand. This allowed him to stay fully engaged in the present, rather than being distracted by fears of what might happen. His preparation for adversity actually gave him more freedom to live in the moment, with less fear of the unknown. Another key benefit of Marcus's practice was that it strengthened his emotional resilience. When faced with adversity, many people react impulsively, driven by fear or frustration. But Marcus's mental preparation allowed him to respond with calm deliberation. He didn't let emotions dictate his actions. Instead, he relied on the mental clarity he had built through reflection. This emotional resilience made him a more effective leader and a more peaceful individual. By practicing premeditatio malorum, Marcus also developed a sense of perspective. He understood that most challenges, no matter how difficult, were temporary. This realization helped him remain calm in the face of adversity, knowing that even the hardest times would eventually pass. His ability to maintain this perspective gave him the strength to endure hardships without being consumed by them. Marcus used this Stoic practice to prepare not only for external challenges, but also for difficult people. He understood that not everyone would share his values or approach life with kindness and integrity. Instead of being surprised or frustrated by the behavior of others, Marcus prepared himself mentally to deal with dishonesty, arrogance, and ingratitude. This mental preparation allowed him to remain patient and compassionate, even when others acted in ways that were hurtful or unjust. Through his practice of anticipating adversity, Marcus also developed a sense of emotional detachment. He didn't allow the actions of others to affect his own inner peace. By preparing himself for difficult interactions, he was able to maintain his emotional balance no matter how others behaved. This detachment wasn't about becoming cold or indifferent. It was about protecting his own mental and emotional well-being from being disrupted by the negativity of others. The practice of premeditatio malorum also helped Marcus build physical resilience. He knew that life's challenges weren't just mental or emotional, they were physical as well. Whether it was illness, fatigue, or physical hardship, Marcus prepared himself for the possibility that his body might face difficulties. By mentally rehearsing how he would handle physical adversity, he strengthened his resolve to endure discomfort without letting it break his spirit. Marcus's ability to prepare for challenges also extended to his leadership. As emperor, he knew that decisions wouldn't always be popular and that conflict was inevitable. But by preparing himself for these realities, Marcus was able to lead with confidence and clarity. He didn't shy away from making difficult decisions because he had already mentally prepared himself for the resistance or criticism that might follow. This made him a stronger, more decisive leader. At the core of Marcus's resilience was his understanding that life's challenges were opportunities for growth. He didn't view adversity as something to be feared or avoided. Instead, he saw it as a chance to develop his character and deepen his wisdom. This mindset allowed Marcus to approach each difficulty with a sense of purpose, knowing that even the hardest moments could teach him something valuable. This practice of preparing for adversity also helped Marcus maintain his integrity. He knew that challenges could sometimes tempt people to compromise their values or act out of fear. But by preparing himself mentally for these moments, Marcus ensured that he would stay true to his principles no matter what happened. His ability to maintain his integrity in the face of adversity was a testament to the strength he had built through his Stoic practice. Marcus also used premeditatio malorum to build patience. He knew that life wouldn't always move at the pace he wanted, and that challenges often required time and persistence to overcome. By mentally preparing himself for this reality, Marcus developed the patience to endure long-term difficulties without becoming frustrated or disheartened. This patience was one of his greatest strengths, allowing him to approach each challenge with a calm, steady mindset. Through this practice, Marcus learned to embrace uncertainty. He knew that no matter how much he prepared, life would always be unpredictable. But instead of letting this uncertainty create fear, Marcus used it to build flexibility. He understood that being mentally prepared didn't mean having all the answers. It meant being open to whatever the day brought and being ready to adapt. This adaptability allowed Marcus to handle unexpected challenges with ease. Marcus's practice of premeditatio malorum also helped him develop compassion for others. By acknowledging that everyone faced their own challenges, Marcus was able to approach others with understanding and kindness. He knew that just as he prepared himself for adversity, others were also struggling in their own ways. This awareness made Marcus a more empathetic and compassionate leader, always ready to help others navigate their own difficulties. In preparing for adversity, Marcus also learned the importance of rest and recovery. He knew that resilience wasn't just about pushing through challenges, it was also about knowing when to step back and recharge. By anticipating difficult times, Marcus ensured that he took care of himself physically and mentally, allowing him to maintain his strength and clarity over the long term. This practice also helped Marcus develop a sense of humility. He knew that no matter how much power or knowledge he had, he would always face challenges beyond his control. This realization kept him grounded, reminding him that he was not immune to the difficulties of life. By accepting his limitations, Marcus was able to approach each day with humility and openness, ready to learn from whatever came his way. Through his daily practice, Marcus built a mindset of perseverance. He knew that some challenges would be resolved quickly, while others might take years to overcome. But by preparing himself mentally for the long haul, Marcus developed the perseverance to keep going, even when progress was slow or setbacks occurred. This perseverance was key to his ability to lead through times of crisis and uncertainty. Marcus's practice of premeditatio malorum also helped him build self-awareness. By reflecting on the challenges he might face, Marcus gained a deeper understanding of his own strengths and weaknesses. This self-awareness allowed him to approach challenges with greater wisdom, knowing when to rely on his strengths and when to seek help. It was this balance of self-reliance and humility that made Marcus a more effective leader. In preparing for challenges, Marcus also developed a sense of inner peace. He knew that no matter what happened, he had the mental and emotional tools to handle it. This confidence in his own resilience gave him a deep sense of calm, even in the face of uncertainty. This inner peace wasn't about avoiding challenges. It was about knowing that he had the strength to face them and come out stronger on the other side. Marcus also used this practice to cultivate gratitude. He understood that adversity often highlighted the things in life that were going well. By preparing himself for challenges, Marcus was able to appreciate the moments of peace and success even more. This practice of gratitude helped him maintain a positive outlook, even when life was difficult, and reminded him to be thankful for the lessons that hardship could bring. The mental preparation Marcus practiced wasn't about controlling every outcome. It was about being ready to respond to whatever life brought with grace and resilience. He knew that no amount of preparation could eliminate adversity, but by strengthening his mind through reflection, Marcus ensured that he would always have the tools to face challenges with wisdom and composure. This mindset gave him the freedom to live without fear of the unknown. Through premeditatio malorum, Marcus also developed a deep sense of responsibility. He knew that as a leader, his ability to handle adversity would impact not only his own life, but the lives of those around him. By preparing himself mentally for challenges, Marcus ensured that he could lead others with calm confidence, even in the most difficult times. His resilience wasn't just a personal strength, it was a strength that benefited everyone he served. The practice of anticipating adversity also helped Marcus cultivate resilience in his relationships. He knew that even the strongest relationships would face challenges, whether it was misunderstandings, conflicts, or external pressures. By mentally preparing himself for these difficulties, Marcus was able to approach his relationships with patience, understanding, and compassion. This resilience allowed him to maintain strong, healthy relationships, even in the face of challenges. Marcus's ability to prepare for adversity also helped him maintain a sense of hope. He knew that challenges were inevitable, but he also believed in his ability to overcome them. This hope wasn't based on unrealistic expectations. It was rooted in the knowledge that he had the strength and resilience to handle whatever came his way. This sense of hope gave Marcus the motivation to keep moving forward, even when the path was difficult. In preparing for adversity, Marcus also learned the importance of flexibility. He understood that challenges often required a change in approach, and by mentally preparing himself for this reality, he became more adaptable. This adaptability allowed Marcus to respond to challenges with creativity and openness, rather than becoming rigid or stuck in his ways. His flexibility made him a more effective leader and a more resilient individual. Through premeditatio malorum, Marcus also cultivated a sense of emotional independence. He didn't rely on external circumstances to determine his mood or sense of well-being. Instead, he developed the ability to maintain his inner peace, no matter what was happening around him. This emotional independence allowed Marcus to remain calm and centered, even in the face of external chaos. In preparing for adversity, Marcus also learned to let go of perfectionism. He knew that life was unpredictable and that not everything would go according to plan. This realization freed him from the pressure to achieve perfection and allowed him to focus on doing his best in each moment. By letting go of perfectionism, Marcus was able to approach challenges with a sense of curiosity and openness, rather than fear of failure. Through his practice of premeditatio malorum, Marcus also developed a deep sense of trust in himself. He knew that no matter what happened, he had the strength, wisdom, and resilience to handle it. This trust in himself gave Marcus the confidence to face life's challenges with courage and determination, knowing that he was prepared for whatever came his way. Marcus's ability to anticipate adversity also helped him develop a sense of compassion for himself. He knew that even with the best preparation, he wouldn't always handle challenges perfectly. But instead of being harsh with himself, Marcus practiced self-compassion, understanding that mistakes were part of the learning process. This self-compassion allowed him to grow from each challenge, rather than being weighed down by self-criticism. Through his daily practice, Marcus also developed a sense of purpose. He knew that life's challenges were not random obstacles, they were opportunities to grow and develop his character. By preparing himself mentally for adversity, Marcus ensured that he could approach each challenge with a sense of purpose, knowing that it was an opportunity to become stronger and wiser. In preparing for adversity, Marcus also learned the importance of rest and recovery. He knew that resilience wasn't just about pushing through challenges, it was also about knowing when to step back and recharge. By anticipating difficult times, Marcus ensured that he took care of himself physically and mentally, allowing him to maintain his strength and clarity over the long term. Through premeditatio malorum, Marcus cultivated a deep sense of resilience that allowed him to face life's challenges with calm, clarity, and strength. This practice wasn't just about preparing for adversity. It was about building the mental and emotional tools needed to navigate life's ups and downs with wisdom and grace. By adopting this practice, we too can develop the resilience needed to face life's challenges with courage and composure. As Marcus Aurelius prepared mentally for the challenges ahead, his resilience was not just a product of deep reflection. His strength also came from his commitment to maintaining a healthy, disciplined body. Physical exercise was not an afterthought for him. It was a vital part of his daily routine that allowed him to face each day with energy and focus. The connection between body and mind was central to his philosophy, and he understood that a strong body would help sustain a strong mind. For Marcus, movement was more than just a necessity. It was a way to cultivate discipline and endurance, both physically and mentally. Marcus knew that the body, when neglected, could become a burden. He took care of his physical health, understanding that a sluggish body would lead to a sluggish mind. His regular commitment to physical exercise helped him maintain the stamina needed to govern an empire, make tough decisions, and stay sharp through long days of mental exertion. This practice of physical discipline wasn't just about health. It was about honing his body as an essential tool for his leadership and personal growth. The emperor's daily physical routines weren't focused on achieving physical perfection or power. They were about sustaining his overall well-being. Whether it was training with soldiers, walking through nature, or practicing traditional exercises of the time, Marcus ensured that his body remained active. He knew that physical activity wasn't merely for appearance, but for cultivating resilience, endurance, and balance. His exercises were a way to push his body in ways that would help him maintain control over his thoughts and emotions. Physical exercise also served as a form of meditation for Marcus. In moments of movement, he could focus entirely on the present, training his body while quieting his mind. Whether he was engaging in a challenging physical task or simply walking, Marcus used these moments as opportunities to deepen his connection between body and mind. The discipline he practiced through physical exercise helped him sharpen his focus and increase his mental clarity. For Marcus, strength wasn't measured by how much one could lift or how fast one could run. It was about building the endurance needed to meet life's challenges head-on. Physical activity strengthened his resilience not only against physical fatigue, but also against the emotional and mental tolls of his responsibilities. By regularly exercising his body, Marcus was able to remain centered, calm, and focused, even in times of great stress. This connection between physical health and mental well-being is something Marcus deeply valued. He understood that exercise wasn't just about physical fitness. It was about enhancing his ability to think clearly, make sound decisions, and remain emotionally stable. His commitment to keeping his body strong was a way to ensure that his mind would also stay sharp. This holistic approach to health allowed Marcus to excel in his role as a leader while maintaining his personal equilibrium. Another benefit of Marcus's regular physical activity was the sense of discipline it reinforced. He knew that building a disciplined mind required building a disciplined body. By committing to daily exercise, Marcus strengthened his ability to follow through on difficult tasks, both physically and mentally. This discipline carried over into all areas of his life, from how he approached his responsibilities as emperor to how he managed his personal struggles. Marcus also valued the physical exercise for its ability to clear the mind. After a session of physical exertion, he could return to his duties with renewed clarity and focus. The act of moving his body allowed him to release any tension or mental fog, helping him think more clearly and approach problems with fresh energy. For Marcus, physical exercise wasn't just about keeping his body fit, it was a way to reset his mind and sharpen his thoughts. By making physical activity a daily habit, Marcus ensured that his body remained a source of strength rather than a limitation. He knew that physical health wasn't something that could be neglected without consequences. A weak body would lead to a weak mind, and a weak mind would lead to poor decision-making. Through regular exercise, Marcus ensured that he remained physically capable of meeting the demands of his life while also staying mentally alert. Exercise was also a way for Marcus to cultivate patience. Physical activity requires consistency, effort, and a willingness to push through discomfort. Marcus knew that the benefits of exercise weren't immediate, but by committing to regular movement, he gradually built the stamina and strength he needed. This practice of patience helped him develop the mental endurance to face long-term challenges, both in his personal life and as a ruler. Through physical exercise, Marcus found balance. He knew that his life required both mental and physical strength, and he cultivated both equally. He didn't view exercise as separate from his intellectual or philosophical pursuits. Instead, he saw it as complementary. The balance he found through regular physical activity helped him remain grounded and stable, even when the world around him was chaotic. Another aspect of Marcus's exercise routine was his focus on consistency. He didn't need elaborate routines or extreme regimens to maintain his health. What mattered most was his daily commitment to movement, no matter how small or simple. This consistency, rather than the intensity of his workouts, helped him maintain his physical and mental well-being over the long term. It was the steady, daily effort that made the biggest difference in his strength and resilience. Through regular exercise, Marcus also practiced humility. Physical activity is a reminder of the body's limitations, and Marcus embraced these limitations as opportunities for growth. He didn't seek to conquer his body, but to work with it, understanding that pushing through discomfort was a way to build strength, both physically and mentally. This humility helped Marcus stay grounded and avoid arrogance, even as he grew stronger and more capable. Marcus also used physical activity to manage stress. The pressures of leadership were immense, and he knew that without a proper outlet, the stress could easily become overwhelming. Exercise gave him a way to release tension and clear his mind, allowing him to approach his responsibilities with greater calm and composure. This practice of using physical movement as a stress relief tool helped Marcus maintain his emotional balance in even the most difficult times. Incorporating exercise into his daily routine also allowed Marcus to maintain a sense of control over his life. While many aspects of his role as emperor were unpredictable, his commitment to physical activity was something he could control. This sense of control, even in the smallest of actions, helped Marcus feel more empowered in his day-to-day life, reinforcing his mental and emotional resilience. Marcus understood that physical strength was a reflection of inner strength. By committing to physical exercise, he wasn't just building a healthy body, he was also cultivating the discipline, patience, and resilience needed to face life's challenges. This inner strength was the foundation of his leadership and personal integrity. It allowed him to remain steadfast, even when the world around him seemed to be falling apart. Regular exercise also reinforced Marcus's sense of self-discipline. It wasn't always easy to maintain a daily routine of physical activity, especially with the demands of leadership, but by committing to this practice, Marcus strengthened his ability to stay focused and follow through on his commitments. This self-discipline was a crucial part of his success as a leader and his personal growth as a philosopher. The benefits of Marcus's physical exercise extended beyond his own personal health. As a leader, he served as a role model for others, showing the importance of maintaining physical strength and discipline. His commitment to health inspired those around him to take care of their own bodies, creating a culture of resilience and discipline in his leadership. Marcus's dedication to physical fitness wasn't just about his own well-being, it was about leading by example. Through physical exercise, Marcus also developed a deep sense of self-awareness. Movement gave him an opportunity to tune into his body and understand its limits, strengths, and needs. This awareness helped Marcus stay in tune with himself, both physically and mentally, allowing him to approach each day with greater clarity and focus. By regularly connecting with his body through exercise, Marcus strengthened his overall sense of self. Physical exercise also provided Marcus with a sense of accomplishment. Each time he completed a workout or a physical challenge, he reinforced his ability to meet difficult tasks head-on. This sense of achievement helped him build confidence in his own abilities, both physically and mentally. It reminded him that he had the strength to overcome obstacles, no matter how challenging they seemed. Through regular exercise, Marcus cultivated resilience not only in his body, but also in his mind. He knew that pushing through physical discomfort required mental strength, and each time he did so, he reinforced his ability to handle adversity. This mental resilience was just as important as the physical strength he built through exercise. It allowed him to approach challenges with confidence, knowing that he had the endurance to persevere. Physical exercise also helped Marcus stay grounded in the present moment. Whether he was walking, training, or engaging in physical work, movement gave him the opportunity to focus entirely on the task at hand. This focus helped him quiet his mind and remain present, free from distractions or worries about the future. By staying grounded in the present through physical movement, Marcus was able to maintain a sense of peace and clarity throughout the day. Marcus's commitment to physical exercise was also a reflection of his broader philosophy of self-improvement. He understood that personal growth required effort, both mentally and physically. Each time he engaged in physical activity, Marcus was working to improve himself, not just in terms of his fitness, but in terms of his overall character. This commitment to self-improvement was at the core of his approach to life. By incorporating regular exercise into his daily routine, Marcus also maintained a sense of balance. He knew that life required both mental and physical exertion, and he made sure to prioritize both. This balance helped him remain grounded and centered, even when life became overwhelming. Physical exercise wasn't just about health for Marcus. It was about creating harmony between his mind and body. Through physical activity, Marcus also practiced gratitude. He appreciated the strength and health that his body gave him, understanding that it was a gift that should be nurtured and cared for. This sense of gratitude helped Marcus maintain a positive outlook on life, even when faced with challenges. By taking care of his body, Marcus showed gratitude for the life he had been given and ensured that he could continue to serve others to the best of his ability. Regular exercise also helped Marcus build emotional resilience. Physical activity can be a way to process emotions, and Marcus used it as a tool to manage his feelings. Whether he was dealing with frustration, stress, or sadness, physical movement gave him an outlet to release those emotions in a healthy way. This practice helped him maintain emotional stability, even in the face of personal or professional challenges. The discipline that Marcus developed through physical exercise also translated into other areas of his life. By committing to a regular routine of movement, Marcus reinforced his ability to stay focused and dedicated to his goals, This discipline helped him approach his responsibilities with a sense of purpose and determination, ensuring that he remained consistent in his efforts, no matter the circumstances. Through physical exercise, Marcus also cultivated a deep sense of inner peace. Movement gave him the opportunity to clear his mind and reconnect with himself, free from the distractions of daily life. This inner peace was a crucial part of his ability to lead with clarity and composure, even when the world around him was chaotic. By prioritizing physical health, Marcus ensured that he could maintain his mental and emotional balance in all areas of his life. Marcus's commitment to physical exercise was also a reflection of his understanding of the interconnectedness of mind, body, and spirit. He knew that neglecting one would affect the others, and by maintaining a strong body, he ensured that his mind and spirit remained strong as well. This holistic approach to health and well-being allowed Marcus to excel not only as a leader, but also as a human being committed to personal growth. Regular exercise also reinforced Marcus's ability to handle uncertainty. Physical activity often requires adaptability and a willingness to embrace discomfort. Marcus applied these lessons to his daily life, using the mental toughness he built through exercise to face the unpredictable nature of leadership. This resilience allowed him to remain steady and composed, even in the face of uncertainty. Through physical exercise, Marcus also developed a sense of discipline that extended to his personal life. The self-discipline he practiced in his physical routines helped him stay focused on his personal goals and values. This consistency allowed Marcus to approach life with integrity, ensuring that his actions were always in line with his principles. Physical exercise wasn't just about fitness. It was about reinforcing the discipline needed to live a virtuous life. Marcus's approach to physical exercise was also a way for him to practice self-care. He understood that taking care of his body was essential to his overall well-being, and he prioritized it accordingly. This practice of self-care helped Marcus maintain his energy and focus, ensuring that he could meet the demands of leadership without becoming overwhelmed. By taking care of his physical health, Marcus was able to take care of his mental and emotional health as well. Through physical exercise, Marcus Aurelius cultivated a body that supported his mind and spirit. This daily commitment to movement reinforced his discipline, resilience, and focus, allowing him to approach each day with clarity and purpose. For Marcus, physical health was not separate from his philosophy. It was an integral part of living a life of virtue and strength. By incorporating regular physical activity into his life, Marcus built the foundation for a life of balance, endurance, and inner peace. As Marcus Aurelius strengthened his body and mind through physical exercise, he also cultivated an even deeper form of resilience, the ability to focus on what he could control. His ability to remain calm under pressure, to lead with clarity, and to endure hardship wasn't just a result of physical discipline or mental preparation. It was his understanding of the Stoic principle of control that allowed him to find peace amidst chaos. This concept, central to his philosophy, helped him direct his energy where it mattered most, on the things he could change, rather than worrying about what was beyond his influence. For Marcus, understanding the distinction between what was within his control and what wasn't became a powerful tool. This wasn't just a theoretical concept, it was a daily practice. In a world full of uncertainty, where wars raged, political unrest stirred, and personal loss was a constant threat, Marcus knew he couldn't control everything. But he also knew that by focusing on his actions, his thoughts, and his reactions, he could navigate life's challenges with greater ease and wisdom. The Stoic idea of control gave Marcus a sense of clarity. He recognized that many things in life, such as the behavior of others, the course of events, and external circumstances, were beyond his power. Instead of becoming frustrated or anxious about these things, Marcus redirected his attention to what he could influence, his own choices. By doing so, he freed himself from unnecessary stress and emotional turmoil. This focus on control also gave Marcus a sense of freedom. He knew that while he couldn't dictate the outcome of every situation, he had complete control over his own actions and mindset. This sense of autonomy allowed him to remain calm in the face of adversity. Even when external circumstances were difficult, Marcus's internal world remained steady because he knew that his peace of mind didn't depend on anything outside of himself. Through his practice of focusing on what he could control, Marcus developed emotional resilience. He didn't let the actions of others or the unpredictability of life disturb his inner calm. By accepting that certain things were beyond his influence, Marcus spared himself from the frustration that comes from trying to change the unchangeable. This emotional resilience allowed him to handle difficult people, challenging circumstances, and even personal loss with grace and patience. Marcus's ability to focus on control also helped him maintain his sense of purpose. He understood that while he couldn't control every outcome, he could control how he approached each task and responsibility. This mindset allowed him to stay committed to his values, even when the world around him was chaotic. By focusing on his own actions and responses, Marcus was able to remain true to his purpose, regardless of external pressures. The practice of focusing on control also helped Marcus let go of fear. He knew that much of what people fear comes from uncertainty, about the future, about others' actions, or about the outcome of events. But by reminding himself that these things were beyond his control, Marcus freed himself from the grip of fear. He chose instead to focus on what he could do in each moment, which gave him the confidence to face life with courage. This Stoic principle also helped Marcus develop patience. He understood that life didn't always move at the pace he wanted, and that some things would take time to unfold. Instead of becoming impatient with things he couldn't control, Marcus focused on what he could do in the present. This practice of patience gave him the strength to persevere through long-term challenges, knowing that he could only control his own efforts, not the timing of results. In practicing the dichotomy of control, Marcus also learned to release expectations. He didn't place his happiness or sense of success on specific outcomes. Instead, he focused on doing his best in each moment and let go of the need for things to turn out a certain way. This release of expectations gave Marcus a sense of inner peace, knowing that he could find contentment in his efforts, regardless of the outcome. By focusing on what he could control, Marcus also developed a sense of responsibility. He knew that while he couldn't control external events, he had full responsibility for his own actions and decisions. This responsibility was empowering, as it reminded Marcus that his life and his legacy were shaped by the choices he made. He didn't waste time blaming others or external forces for his challenges. Instead, he took ownership of his actions and their consequences. This practice also helped Marcus cultivate a sense of humility. He understood that there were many things in life beyond his control, and this realization kept him grounded. Marcus didn't pretend to have power over everything, nor did he try to force outcomes that weren't his to control. This humility allowed him to approach life with a sense of openness and acceptance, knowing that his role was to focus on what was within his influence and let go of the rest. Through this Stoic principle, Marcus also developed resilience in his relationships. He knew that while he couldn't control how others acted or responded, he could control how he treated them. This focus on his own behavior helped Marcus navigate difficult relationships with patience and understanding. He didn't let others' negativity or arrogance affect his own peace of mind, because he knew that he had control only over his own reactions, not theirs. Marcus's focus on what he could control also helped him navigate the pressures of leadership. As emperor, he was constantly faced with decisions that would affect millions of people. While he couldn't control every outcome or ensure that everyone would agree with his choices, Marcus focused on leading with integrity and wisdom. He knew that by making the best decisions he could with the information available, he was fulfilling his duty. This focus on control helped him lead with confidence, even when the stakes were high. In practicing the dichotomy of control, Marcus also found peace in failure. He understood that not every effort would lead to success, and that some things were simply beyond his influence. Instead of viewing failure as a reflection of his worth or ability, Marcus saw it as part of the natural process of life. This acceptance of failure allowed him to learn from his mistakes without being consumed by regret or disappointment. The principle of control also helped Marcus stay focused on the present moment. He knew that worrying about the future or dwelling on the past were distractions that took him away from what he could actually influence. By focusing on the present, Marcus was able to engage fully with whatever task or challenge was before him. This presence of mind gave him the clarity and focus needed to make wise decisions and avoid unnecessary stress. Through this practice, Marcus also developed emotional detachment. He understood that while emotions were natural, they didn't have to control his actions. By focusing on what he could control, his thoughts and responses, Marcus was able to maintain a sense of calm, even in the face of intense emotions. This emotional detachment wasn't about suppressing feelings, but about observing them without letting them dictate his behavior. This practice of focusing on control also helped Marcus avoid unnecessary conflict. He knew that many disagreements stemmed from trying to control others or force outcomes. By accepting that he couldn't control how others thought or behaved, Marcus was able to approach conflict with a sense of understanding and patience. This mindset helped him navigate difficult conversations and disagreements with greater ease, without becoming frustrated or combative. In focusing on control, Marcus also developed a sense of resilience in the face of criticism. He understood that he couldn't control others' opinions of him, but he could control how he responded to criticism. Instead of letting negative feedback affect his sense of self-worth, Marcus viewed it as an opportunity to reflect and grow. By focusing on his own actions and values, rather than seeking external validation, Marcus maintained his confidence and integrity. This practice also helped Marcus develop gratitude. He knew that while he couldn't control everything in life, he could always control how he viewed and appreciated the world around him. By focusing on what he could influence, Marcus found gratitude in the smallest of things: his health, his relationships, and the lessons learned from adversity. This sense of gratitude helped him maintain a positive outlook, even when life was difficult. Through this Stoic principle, Marcus also developed a deep sense of inner peace. He understood that much of life's stress came from trying to control things that were beyond his power. By letting go of this need for control, Marcus freed himself from the anxiety and frustration that often accompany uncertainty. This inner peace wasn't about avoiding challenges. It was about accepting them with calm and clarity. In practicing the dichotomy of control, Marcus also found strength in surrender. He knew that surrendering to the things he couldn't control didn't mean giving up. It meant accepting reality as it was. This acceptance allowed Marcus to focus his energy on what truly mattered, rather than wasting it on things he couldn't change. This strength in surrender gave him the ability to navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom. This practice also helped Marcus develop a sense of emotional independence. He didn't rely on external circumstances to dictate his mood or happiness. Instead, he found peace within himself, knowing that he had control over his own thoughts and reactions. This emotional independence allowed Marcus to remain calm and centered, even when the world around him was in turmoil. Through this practice, Marcus also cultivated a deep sense of trust. He trusted that by focusing on what he could control and letting go of the rest, he would be able to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and resilience. This trust wasn't about blind optimism. It was about having faith in his own ability to handle whatever came his way. This sense of trust gave Marcus the confidence to face life with courage and determination. By focusing on what he could control, Marcus also developed a sense of self-compassion. He knew that he wouldn't always get everything right and that mistakes were inevitable. But instead of being harsh with himself, Marcus practiced forgiveness. He accepted that he couldn't control every outcome, but he could learn from each experience and continue to grow. This self-compassion helped Marcus maintain his sense of worth and peace of mind, even in the face of failure. This practice also helped Marcus build resilience in the face of uncertainty. He understood that life was unpredictable, but by focusing on his own actions and responses, he could navigate uncertainty with greater ease. This resilience allowed Marcus to face challenges without being overwhelmed by fear or doubt. He knew that while he couldn't control the future, he could control how he approached it. Through this Stoic principle, Marcus also developed a deep sense of patience. He knew that many things in life took time to unfold, and that rushing or forcing outcomes would only lead to frustration. By focusing on what he could control, Marcus cultivated the patience to wait for things to develop naturally, knowing that his efforts would bear fruit in their own time. This practice of patience gave him the strength to persevere through long-term challenges. The dichotomy of control also helped Marcus develop a sense of clarity. By letting go of what was beyond his influence, he was able to focus his energy on the things that truly mattered. This clarity helped him make better decisions, prioritize his time, and avoid unnecessary distractions. It allowed Marcus to lead with purpose and intention, knowing that he was directing his energy where it would have the most impact. This practice also helped Marcus develop resilience in the face of disappointment. He knew that not everything would go as planned, and that setbacks were a natural part of life. But by focusing on what he could control, his own efforts and attitude, Marcus was able to bounce back from disappointment with greater ease. This resilience allowed him to stay committed to his goals, even when progress was slow or obstacles arose. In practicing the dichotomy of control, Marcus also developed a sense of emotional stability. He didn't allow external events or others' behavior to disrupt his inner peace. By focusing on his own thoughts and reactions, Marcus was able to maintain a sense of calm, no matter what was happening around him. This emotional stability was one of his greatest strengths, allowing him to lead with clarity and composure, even in times of crisis. This focus on control also helped Marcus maintain a sense of purpose. He knew that while he couldn't control everything in life, he had the power to choose how he approached each moment. This sense of purpose gave Marcus the motivation to continue striving for excellence, even when the path was difficult. It reminded him that his actions mattered, and that by focusing on what he could control, he could make a meaningful impact on the world around him. Through this Stoic principle, Marcus also developed a deep sense of self-awareness. He knew that his thoughts, emotions, and actions were within his control, and he regularly reflected on how he could improve them. This self-awareness allowed Marcus to grow and evolve as a leader and as a person. By focusing on his own inner world, Marcus was able to approach life with greater wisdom and understanding. The dichotomy of control also helped Marcus build resilience in his personal relationships. He knew that he couldn't control how others acted or responded, but he could control how he treated them. This focus on his own behavior helped Marcus navigate difficult relationships with patience and compassion, knowing that his actions were aligned with his values. This resilience allowed him to maintain strong, healthy relationships, even in the face of challenges. Through this practice, Marcus developed a deep sense of emotional balance. He didn't allow the highs and lows of life to throw him off course. By focusing on what he could control, Marcus was able to remain steady, no matter the circumstances. This emotional balance was key to his ability to lead with clarity and wisdom, even in the most turbulent times. In focusing on control, Marcus also developed a sense of inner peace. He knew that much of life's stress came from trying to control things that were beyond his power. By letting go of this need for control, Marcus freed himself from the anxiety and frustration that often accompany uncertainty. This inner peace wasn't about avoiding challenges, it was about accepting them with calm and clarity. This practice of focusing on what he could control also helped Marcus build a deep sense of trust in himself. He knew that no matter what happened, he had the strength, wisdom, and resilience to handle it. This trust in himself gave Marcus the confidence to face life's challenges with courage and determination, knowing that he was prepared for whatever came his way. As Marcus Aurelius mastered the practice of focusing on what he could control, he also engaged in another daily habit that helped him track his thoughts, reflect on his actions, and continuously improve: journaling. This wasn't a mere record of events or an exercise in self-expression. It was a powerful tool for self-examination, clarity, and growth. Marcus used his journal to capture his thoughts, challenge his assumptions, and guide his behavior. Through this daily practice, he strengthened his mind and shaped his character, creating a path to personal and philosophical refinement. Journaling gave Marcus a way to pause and consider the meaning behind his thoughts and actions. Each entry was an opportunity to take stock of the day's events, reflect on how he responded, and ask himself whether he lived up to his principles. This kind of reflection wasn't about judgment or self-criticism, it was about understanding and learning. Marcus used journaling to evaluate whether his behavior aligned with his values and to find areas where he could grow. For Marcus, writing in his journal was an act of accountability. He knew that being a good leader and a virtuous person required constant self-examination. Through journaling, Marcus held himself accountable to his own standards. It was a private space where he could confront his weaknesses and recognize his strengths, all while maintaining the discipline to improve every day. The journal wasn't just a tool for self-expression, it was a mirror that showed Marcus who he really was and who he wanted to become. This practice also allowed Marcus to clear his mind. Writing down his thoughts, worries, and emotions gave him the space to release them, rather than letting them occupy his mental energy. By putting his thoughts on paper, Marcus freed himself from the clutter of unresolved feelings or ideas. This clarity of mind helped him approach each day with a renewed sense of focus, unburdened by the mental fog that can come from unexpressed concerns. Through his journaling, Marcus developed a deeper understanding of his emotions. He didn't shy away from his feelings, but instead sought to observe and understand them. Journaling allowed him to process emotions like anger, fear, or sadness without being overwhelmed by them. This practice helped Marcus gain control over his emotional responses, ensuring that his decisions were guided by reason rather than impulsive feelings. Another powerful aspect of Marcus's journaling was its ability to foster gratitude. He often used his writings to remind himself of the things he was thankful for, even during times of hardship. By acknowledging the good in his life, Marcus maintained a positive outlook, no matter how difficult his circumstances. This practice of gratitude through journaling helped him stay grounded and appreciative, reinforcing his inner strength and resilience. Journaling also helped Marcus Aurelius remain humble. Through this daily practice, he constantly reminded himself of his limitations and the fact that he was still learning and growing. No matter how much power or wisdom he gained, Marcus used his journal to reflect on his mistakes, ensuring that he never became complacent or arrogant. This self-awareness was key to his personal development and leadership. Marcus's journaling was also an exercise in truthfulness. He used it as a space to be completely honest with himself about his intentions, motivations, and actions. There was no need for pretense or self-deception. In his journal, Marcus could admit his faults and confront uncomfortable truths. This honesty helped him stay aligned with his values, ensuring that his actions were always rooted in integrity. The act of writing itself became a way for Marcus to strengthen his discipline. Journaling required him to sit down, reflect, and put his thoughts into words every day, regardless of how busy or tired he was. This daily commitment reinforced his ability to stick to other habits and responsibilities. The consistency of journaling mirrored the consistency Marcus applied to other aspects of his life, helping him build a routine that supported his growth. In his journaling practice, Marcus often wrote about the lessons he learned from others. He reflected on the examples set by mentors, friends, and even those who opposed him. By considering how others lived, he gained insight into how he could improve himself. This practice of learning from others, both in their virtues and their mistakes, gave Marcus a broader perspective on life and leadership. Marcus also used his journal to remind himself of the principles of Stoicism. When faced with challenging situations or difficult emotions, he would write about the Stoic teachings that guided him. These reminders helped him stay grounded in his philosophy, reinforcing the values of patience, wisdom, and resilience. By revisiting these ideas daily, Marcus ensured that his actions were in line with the Stoic way of life. Journaling also helped Marcus prepare for future challenges. He would often write about potential difficulties and how he planned to handle them. This mental rehearsal allowed him to feel more prepared and less anxious about the unknown. By thinking through possible scenarios in his journal, Marcus built the mental resilience needed to face adversity with calm and clarity. Through journaling, Marcus developed the ability to step back and observe his thoughts and actions objectively. This detachment helped him avoid becoming overly attached to his successes or failures. He could evaluate his life from a broader perspective, which allowed him to see the bigger picture rather than getting lost in the details of day-to-day struggles. This practice of stepping back helped him remain balanced, no matter what was happening around him. One of the most important benefits of journaling for Marcus was its ability to foster self-compassion. As he reflected on his mistakes or shortcomings, Marcus didn't judge himself harshly. Instead, he approached these moments with understanding and a commitment to improvement. This self-compassion allowed him to continue growing without being weighed down by guilt or regret. Marcus's journaling practice also helped him set intentions for the future. Each day he could use his writings to plan how he wanted to act, what goals he wanted to achieve, and how he could live more in line with his values. This forward-looking aspect of journaling helped Marcus stay focused on personal growth, always seeking to become a better version of himself. Journaling allowed Marcus to track his progress over time. By reviewing past entries, he could see how far he had come in his personal development and where he still needed to improve. This sense of progress helped Marcus stay motivated, as he could measure the small but steady changes that were shaping his character and actions. The daily habit of journaling also reinforced Marcus's ability to be present. By writing down his thoughts, he was able to stay engaged with the current moment, rather than being consumed by worries about the future or regrets about the past. This mindfulness helped him stay focused on what he could control and let go of distractions that didn't serve him. Through his writings, Marcus often explored the nature of life and death, reflecting on the impermanence of everything around him. This reflection wasn't morbid. It was a way for him to appreciate the fleeting nature of life and remind himself of what truly mattered. By confronting mortality in his journal, Marcus strengthened his resolve to live each day with purpose and meaning. Journaling also helped Marcus cultivate patience. As he reflected on the challenges he faced, he reminded himself that progress and growth took time. Writing about his struggles and victories helped him maintain a long-term perspective, allowing him to be patient with himself and others. This practice of patience was essential to his ability to remain calm and composed in the face of difficulties. Through journaling, Marcus was able to gain clarity on his goals. By writing down what he wanted to achieve, both in his personal life and as a leader, he could prioritize his efforts and stay focused on what was most important. This clarity helped him avoid distractions and remain committed to his values and responsibilities. Journaling also provided Marcus with a sense of closure. At the end of each day, he could reflect on what had happened and how he had responded. This reflection allowed him to process events and emotions, giving him a sense of completion before moving forward. This practice helped Marcus avoid carrying unresolved issues into the next day, allowing him to start fresh each morning. Through his journal, Marcus also explored the concept of acceptance. He wrote about the things he couldn't change and reflected on how he could find peace in accepting them. This acceptance didn't mean giving up. It meant recognizing the limits of his control and focusing on what he could influence. By embracing this mindset, Marcus was able to let go of frustration and find serenity in the face of challenges. Writing also helped Marcus develop a deeper sense of empathy. As he reflected on his interactions with others, he sought to understand their perspectives and motivations. This practice of empathy helped him build stronger relationships and approach others with kindness and understanding, even when they acted in ways that were difficult or frustrating. The act of journaling also reinforced Marcus's commitment to self-discipline. By making time each day to reflect and write, he practiced the discipline needed to stay focused on his goals and values. This self-discipline carried over into other areas of his life, helping him remain consistent in his efforts to improve. Journaling gave Marcus a sense of accountability, not only to himself, but to those he served. As he reflected on his role as a leader, he considered how his actions affected others and whether he was living up to his responsibilities. This accountability helped him stay grounded and reminded him of the importance of leading with integrity. Marcus's journal was also a tool for building resilience. By reflecting on the challenges he faced and how he overcame them, Marcus strengthened his ability to endure future hardships. Each entry served as a reminder of his capacity to persevere, reinforcing his inner strength and resolve. Through journaling, Marcus developed the ability to forgive both himself and others. As he reflected on past mistakes or conflicts, he used his writings to process these experiences and let go of any lingering resentment. This practice of forgiveness helped Marcus maintain a sense of peace and allowed him to move forward without being weighed down by the past. Journaling also helped Marcus cultivate curiosity. As he wrote about his thoughts and experiences, he asked himself questions and sought to explore new ideas. This curiosity kept his mind open to learning and growth, ensuring that he remained engaged with the world around him and continued to evolve as a person. The practice of journaling also helped Marcus build mental clarity. By organizing his thoughts on paper, he was able to see patterns, identify solutions, and gain a deeper understanding of the challenges he faced. This clarity helped him make better decisions and approach life with greater focus and intention. Through his journaling, Marcus developed a sense of gratitude for the process of growth itself. He understood that personal development wasn't always easy, but he appreciated the opportunity to learn from his experiences and become a better person. This gratitude helped him stay motivated, even when progress was slow or difficult. Journaling also provided Marcus with a way to celebrate his successes. As he reflected on the challenges he overcame and the goals he achieved, he took time to acknowledge his efforts and growth. This celebration of progress helped him maintain a positive outlook and reminded him of the value of persistence. Through his journaling practice, Marcus also developed a deeper connection to his values. By reflecting on his actions and decisions, he could ensure that they were aligned with the principles that guided his life. This connection to his values helped him remain true to himself, even in the face of external pressures or challenges. The act of journaling also allowed Marcus to practice mindfulness. As he wrote about his thoughts and experiences, he was fully present in the moment, engaged with his inner world. This mindfulness helped him stay grounded and focused, allowing him to approach each day with clarity and purpose. Through his journaling, Marcus developed the ability to adapt to change. As he reflected on the challenges he faced and the lessons he learned, he recognized that life was constantly evolving. This understanding helped him remain flexible and open to new experiences, ensuring that he could navigate change with grace and resilience. Journaling also helped Marcus build self-confidence. As he reflected on his growth and achievements, he gained a deeper sense of trust in his own abilities. This self-confidence allowed him to face challenges with greater courage and determination, knowing that he had the strength to overcome whatever came his way. Through his journaling practice, Marcus developed a sense of inner peace. By reflecting on his thoughts, emotions, and actions, he was able to find clarity and acceptance in the midst of life's challenges. This inner peace wasn't about avoiding difficulties. It was about approaching them with a calm, centered mindset, knowing that he had the tools to navigate whatever life brought his way. Journaling helped Marcus maintain a sense of purpose. Each day, he used his writings to reflect on his goals, values, and responsibilities. This sense of purpose gave him the motivation to continue growing and striving for excellence, even when the path was difficult. Through his daily journaling, Marcus Aurelius cultivated a mindset of reflection, growth, and gratitude. This practice helped him track his progress, refine his character, and strengthen his resolve. By taking time each day to write and reflect, Marcus ensured that he remained committed to his personal and philosophical journey, always seeking to become a better version of himself. As Marcus Aurelius carefully reflected on his thoughts and actions through daily journaling, he also cultivated a practice of ending each day with intentional reflection. This evening habit, a quiet moment of honesty with himself, was essential to his personal growth. It allowed him to review the day's events, evaluate his behavior, and prepare himself for the challenges that lay ahead. This wasn't simply a routine. It was a critical step in his ongoing journey towards self-improvement and inner peace. The act of reflecting before sleep gave Marcus the opportunity to assess his progress and align his life with the Stoic values that guided him. Each night, Marcus would look back at his decisions and interactions, taking time to consider whether he had lived up to his principles. This practice wasn't about punishing himself for mistakes or missteps, but about holding himself accountable. He used this reflection as a way to understand where he could improve and what lessons the day had taught him. This commitment to self-awareness helped him remain on the path of virtue, constantly adjusting his course to stay aligned with his values. By ending his day with reflection, Marcus strengthened his ability to learn from his experiences. He understood that every day, no matter how ordinary or challenging, held valuable insights. Through careful reflection, Marcus was able to extract wisdom from even the smallest interactions. This habit of learning from daily life allowed him to grow steadily, one day at a time, and to ensure that each day was a step forward in his personal development. This evening reflection also helped Marcus remain mindful of his emotional responses throughout the day. He would evaluate how well he managed his temper, his patience, and his ability to remain calm under pressure. By reflecting on his emotional state, Marcus gained a deeper understanding of how to maintain control over his reactions, ensuring that he responded to challenges with wisdom rather than impulse. Through this practice, Marcus developed a sense of humility. He recognized that despite his position as emperor, he was still a human being with flaws and limitations. Reflecting on his day helped him see where he had fallen short, but also where he had succeeded. This humility kept Marcus grounded, reminding him that growth was a lifelong process and that he was always a work in progress. Another key benefit of Marcus's evening reflection was its ability to foster gratitude. As he reviewed the events of the day, Marcus would take note of the things he was thankful for, whether it was a moment of kindness, a lesson learned, or simply the fact that he had made it through the day. This practice of gratitude helped Marcus maintain a positive outlook, even when faced with difficulties. By acknowledging the good in his life, he nurtured a sense of contentment and peace. Ending the day with reflection also helped Marcus cultivate forgiveness. He would reflect not only on the actions of others, but also on his own mistakes. This reflection wasn't about dwelling on what went wrong. It was about understanding, forgiving, and moving forward. Marcus knew that holding on to resentment, whether toward himself or others, would only weigh him down. By practicing forgiveness each night, he ensured that he could start the next day with a clear and unburdened mind. This practice of evening reflection also reinforced Marcus's discipline. It required him to take time at the end of each day, no matter how tired or busy he was, to sit quietly with his thoughts. This consistency helped Marcus stay committed to his personal growth and reminded him of the importance of self-examination. The discipline of reflection was just as important as the insights it provided, helping Marcus stay focused on his journey toward becoming a better person. Through his evening reflections, Marcus also deepened his understanding of others. As he reviewed his interactions throughout the day, he would consider the perspectives and motivations of the people he encountered. This practice helped him develop empathy and compassion, allowing him to approach others with more kindness and understanding. By reflecting on how others might have felt or what challenges they were facing, Marcus became a more thoughtful and considerate leader. The quiet moments of reflection at the end of the day also helped Marcus cultivate a sense of calm. In the stillness of the evening, he could let go of the noise and demands of the day, allowing his mind to rest. This calmness wasn't just about relaxation. It was a deep, centered state that allowed Marcus to approach life with clarity. By ending each day with reflection, he ensured that his mind was clear and focused, ready to face whatever tomorrow might bring. Through this practice, Marcus also strengthened his resilience. Reflection allowed him to process the challenges of the day and to prepare mentally for the challenges ahead. By taking time to reflect on how he handled adversity, Marcus built the mental toughness needed to face difficulties with grace and determination. This resilience wasn't about avoiding hardship. It was about learning from it and becoming stronger with each experience. Evening reflection also helped Marcus recognize patterns in his behavior. By reviewing his actions and thoughts each night, he could see where he was consistently struggling or excelling. This awareness helped him make the necessary adjustments to his behavior, ensuring that he was always moving towards self-improvement. These insights were crucial to his growth, allowing him to break bad habits and reinforce positive ones. Through reflection, Marcus also cultivated a deeper sense of responsibility. He understood that his actions, both big and small, had consequences, not just for himself, but for those around him. By reviewing his day, he could see how his choices impacted others and whether he was living up to his responsibilities as a leader and as a person. This sense of responsibility kept Marcus committed to acting with integrity and care. This practice of reflection also reinforced Marcus's commitment to self-compassion. He didn't expect perfection from himself, and his reflections weren't meant to be harsh or self-critical. Instead, they were a way to acknowledge his humanity, to learn from his mistakes, and to forgive himself for any shortcomings. This self-compassion helped Marcus maintain his inner peace, allowing him to continue growing without being weighed down by guilt or regret. Through evening reflection, Marcus also deepened his sense of purpose. Each night, he would remind himself of why he was pursuing a life of virtue and wisdom. This reflection helped him stay connected to his values and his goals, ensuring that he didn't lose sight of what truly mattered. By ending each day with a clear sense of purpose, Marcus was able to approach each new day with renewed motivation and focus. This practice of reflection also helped Marcus find balance. He knew that life was filled with both successes and failures, and by reflecting on both, he maintained a sense of equilibrium. He didn't let his achievements make him arrogant, nor did he let his mistakes bring him down. This balance allowed Marcus to remain steady in the face of life's ups and downs, always striving for growth without becoming discouraged. Through his evening reflections, Marcus also cultivated patience. He understood that personal growth was a gradual process, and he didn't expect immediate results. Each night, he would review his progress, acknowledging the small steps forward, even when the path seemed long. This patience helped Marcus stay committed to his journey, knowing that lasting change takes time and effort. This practice also allowed Marcus to approach the future with a sense of calm. By reviewing the day and preparing for tomorrow, he reduced the uncertainty that often comes with the unknown. He didn't try to predict or control the future, but he did ensure that he was mentally prepared for whatever might come. This preparation gave Marcus a sense of confidence, knowing that he was ready to face the next day with clarity and resilience. Through evening reflection, Marcus also developed the ability to let go of the past. He understood that dwelling on past mistakes or regrets would only hold him back. Instead, he used reflection as a way to process the past, learn from it, and then release it. This ability to let go allowed Marcus to approach each new day with a sense of freedom, unburdened by the weight of yesterday's troubles. By reflecting on his actions at the end of the day, Marcus also reinforced his commitment to self-improvement. He knew that each day was an opportunity to learn and grow, and he used his reflections to ensure that he was always moving forward. This commitment to growth helped Marcus stay focused on his goals, always striving to become a better version of himself. Through this practice, Marcus also gained a deeper sense of self-awareness. Each night, he would reflect on his thoughts, emotions, and actions, gaining insight into his own motivations and behaviors. This self-awareness helped Marcus understand himself more fully, allowing him to make more intentional and thoughtful choices in his life. Evening reflection also helped Marcus develop a sense of emotional detachment. As he reviewed the events of the day, he could observe his emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. This detachment allowed him to process his feelings in a healthy way, ensuring that they didn't cloud his judgment or affect his peace of mind. By practicing emotional detachment through reflection, Marcus was able to approach life with greater clarity and calm. This practice of reflection also helped Marcus cultivate discipline. It required him to take time each night, no matter how tired he was, to sit quietly with his thoughts. This discipline reinforced his commitment to personal growth and ensured that he remained consistent in his efforts to improve. The act of reflecting each night was just as important as the insights it provided, helping Marcus stay focused on his path. Through evening reflection, Marcus also developed a deeper connection to his values. As he reviewed his day, he could see whether his actions were aligned with the principles that guided his life. This reflection helped him stay true to himself and his philosophy, ensuring that his choices were always rooted in wisdom and integrity. This practice also helped Marcus cultivate resilience in his relationships. By reflecting on his interactions with others, he could see where he had succeeded in being patient or kind, and where he could improve. This reflection helped Marcus approach his relationships with greater empathy and understanding, ensuring that he was always working towards stronger, more meaningful connections. Through reflection, Marcus also developed a sense of closure at the end of each day. By reviewing his actions and processing his emotions, he could let go of any lingering thoughts or worries. This sense of closure allowed Marcus to rest peacefully, knowing that he had done his best and that tomorrow was a new opportunity for growth. This practice of reflection also helped Marcus cultivate a sense of gratitude. As he reviewed the day, he would take note of the things he was thankful for, whether it was a lesson learned or a moment of kindness. This gratitude helped Marcus maintain a positive outlook, even when faced with challenges. By ending each day with gratitude, he nurtured a sense of contentment and peace. Through his evening reflections, Marcus also deepened his sense of accountability. He knew that his actions, both big and small, had consequences, and he used reflection as a way to evaluate whether he was living up to his responsibilities. This accountability helped Marcus stay committed to his role as a leader and as a person, ensuring that he always acted with integrity. Evening reflection also helped Marcus cultivate forgiveness. He would reflect on the mistakes of the day, both his own and those of others, and use this time to forgive. By letting go of resentment and practicing forgiveness, Marcus ensured that he could start the next day with a clear and unburdened mind. Through this practice, Marcus also strengthened his ability to adapt to change. As he reflected on the challenges he faced and the lessons he learned, he recognized that life was constantly evolving. This understanding helped him remain flexible and open to new experiences, ensuring that he could navigate change with grace and resilience. Evening reflection also provided Marcus with a way to celebrate his progress. As he reviewed the challenges he overcame and the goals he achieved, he took time to acknowledge his efforts and growth. This celebration of progress helped Marcus maintain a positive outlook and reminded him of the value of persistence. Through his reflections, Marcus also deepened his connection to his sense of purpose. Each night, he would remind himself of why he was pursuing a life of virtue and wisdom. This sense of purpose gave Marcus the motivation to continue striving for excellence, even when the path was difficult. This practice of evening reflection also helped Marcus develop a sense of clarity. By reviewing the day's events and processing his thoughts, he could gain a deeper understanding of his actions and decisions. This clarity helped him make more thoughtful choices in the future, ensuring that he remained aligned with his values. Through his evening reflections, Marcus also cultivated a sense of balance. He knew that life was filled with both successes and failures, and by reflecting on both, he maintained a sense of equilibrium. This balance allowed Marcus to remain steady in the face of life's ups and downs, always striving for growth without becoming discouraged. Evening reflection also provided Marcus with a way to practice mindfulness. As he sat quietly with his thoughts, he was fully present in the moment, engaged with his inner world. This mindfulness helped Marcus stay grounded and focused, allowing him to approach each day with clarity and intention. Through this practice, Marcus developed a sense of peace with the passage of time. By reflecting on the day and preparing for tomorrow, he acknowledged the impermanence of each moment. This acceptance helped Marcus remain calm and focused, knowing that each day was an opportunity for growth and learning. Evening reflection also helped Marcus maintain a sense of humility. As he reviewed his actions, he recognized his limitations and the fact that he was still learning. This humility kept Marcus grounded, reminding him that growth was a lifelong process. Through this practice, Marcus also developed a sense of self-compassion. He didn't expect perfection from himself, and his reflections weren't meant to be harsh or self-critical. Instead, they were a way to acknowledge his humanity, to learn from his mistakes, and to forgive himself. By ending each day with reflection, Marcus ensured that he remained committed to his journey of personal growth. This simple yet powerful practice helped him align his life with his values, learn from his experiences, and prepare for the challenges ahead with a calm and clear mind. Through reflection, Marcus Aurelius transformed his daily actions into opportunities for continuous growth and wisdom. As Marcus Aurelius wrapped up his day with reflection, preparing his mind for the next day, he also understood the importance of striking a balance between the demands of work and the necessity of self-care. His role as emperor was a constant pull of duties, responsibilities, and decisions that affected an entire empire. Yet, amidst this chaos, Marcus found time to nurture his well-being, knowing that his strength to lead relied on his ability to take care of himself. This balance was not a luxury, but a crucial element of his success, a practice that allowed him to stay productive without sacrificing his personal peace. Marcus knew that dedicating time to work alone, without caring for his mind and body, would only lead to burnout. His wisdom lay in understanding that sustained productivity required moments of rest and renewal. By creating intentional breaks in his demanding schedule, he preserved his mental clarity and ensured he could face each day with energy. This approach wasn't about indulgence, it was about ensuring that he could perform at his best day after day. One of the ways Marcus ensured this balance was by making self-care a part of his daily routine, rather than something he turned to only in moments of exhaustion. He treated self-care as essential maintenance for his well-being. Whether it was through physical exercise, moments of meditation, or time spent reflecting in nature, Marcus wove self-care into his day to keep himself grounded. This consistent practice of renewal allowed him to handle the immense pressures of his position without losing his center. For Marcus, self-care also extended beyond physical rest. It was about mental and emotional nourishment. He recognized the importance of caring for his mind just as much as his body. Engaging with philosophy, journaling, and self-reflection helped him stay mentally resilient, while quiet moments of solitude offered him the space to recharge emotionally. These practices weren't about withdrawing from life, but about ensuring that he had the inner resources to face his responsibilities with strength and wisdom. Balancing work and self-care didn't mean that Marcus neglected his duties. In fact, his commitment to self-care enhanced his ability to work effectively. By taking care of his mental and physical health, Marcus ensured that he could focus more deeply and make clearer decisions. This balance between work and renewal was the key to his sustained effectiveness as a leader. It wasn't about working harder, it was about working smarter by managing his energy wisely. Marcus also understood that self-care wasn't selfish. In fact, by maintaining his well-being, he was better able to serve others. As a leader, his decisions impacted millions of people, and he knew that if he was mentally or physically drained, those decisions could suffer. By prioritizing his own health, Marcus ensured that he could lead with clarity and compassion, making choices that were in the best interest of those he governed. Through this balance, Marcus also cultivated resilience. He knew that life's demands could be relentless, but by ensuring that he took time to care for himself, he built the stamina to keep going, even during challenging times. This resilience wasn't about pushing through exhaustion. It was about knowing when to step back and recharge so that he could return to his work with renewed energy and focus. In creating space for both work and self-care, Marcus also demonstrated the importance of boundaries. He knew that his responsibilities as emperor were endless, but he also knew that there had to be limits. By setting boundaries around his time for reflection, exercise and rest, Marcus ensured that his personal well-being wasn't consumed by the demands of his role. These boundaries weren't about shirking responsibility. They were about preserving his ability to fulfill those responsibilities effectively. This practice of balance also helped Marcus avoid the trap of over-identification with his work. He understood that his value didn't come solely from his role as emperor, but from his character and how he lived his life. By making time for self-care, Marcus maintained a sense of identity that wasn't entirely wrapped up in his work. This allowed him to approach his duties with greater perspective, knowing that his worth wasn't tied solely to his productivity. Through his approach to balancing work and self-care, Marcus also cultivated patience. He recognized that achieving long-term goals required sustained effort over time, and that pushing himself too hard in the short term would only lead to burnout. By pacing himself and allowing for moments of renewal, Marcus ensured that he could continue to work effectively for the long haul, rather than burning out from trying to do too much all at once. This balance also helped Marcus develop emotional stability. By regularly taking time to care for himself, he was better able to manage the stress and emotions that came with his role. Self-care gave him the space to process his feelings and recharge, ensuring that he didn't become overwhelmed by the pressures of leadership. This emotional stability allowed him to remain calm and centered, even in the face of difficult decisions or crises. Marcus also knew that balance wasn't a one-size-fits-all solution. He adapted his approach to self-care depending on the demands of his day. Some days required more reflection, while others called for physical exercise or moments of solitude. This flexibility allowed Marcus to maintain balance even when life became unpredictable. He didn't rigidly adhere to a specific routine, but instead listened to what his mind and body needed each day, ensuring that his self-care practices were responsive and effective. Through this balance, Marcus also reinforced his sense of purpose. By regularly taking time to step back and reflect, he reminded himself of why he was working and what his ultimate goals were. This sense of purpose helped him stay motivated, even when the demands of leadership were overwhelming. Self-care wasn't just about rest. It was about reconnecting with his deeper values and ensuring that his work remained aligned with those values. Marcus's approach to balancing work and self-care also demonstrated his wisdom in understanding the natural rhythms of life. He knew that there would be times of intense effort and times of rest, and that both were necessary for growth. By embracing this natural ebb and flow, Marcus ensured that he didn't resist life's rhythms, but flowed with them. This acceptance of life's cycles helped him maintain a sense of peace, even during the busiest times. This balance between work and renewal also helped Marcus avoid the extremes of overwork or laziness. He knew that both extremes were detrimental to personal growth and productivity. By finding the middle path, Marcus ensured that he remained consistently productive without pushing himself to the point of exhaustion. This moderation allowed him to stay focused and effective without sacrificing his well-being. By creating space for self-care, Marcus also cultivated a sense of inner peace. He knew that the demands of leadership would never fully disappear, but by taking time to care for himself, he could maintain a sense of calm amidst the chaos. This inner peace wasn't about avoiding responsibility. It was about ensuring that he had the mental and emotional reserves to meet those responsibilities with clarity and grace. Through his approach to balance, Marcus also developed a sense of discipline. He knew that self-care required just as much commitment as his work, and he treated it with the same level of importance. This discipline helped him stay consistent in his practices, even when the demands of his role seemed overwhelming. By making self-care a priority, Marcus ensured that his work didn't consume him, but remained a part of a well-rounded life. In maintaining this balance, Marcus also demonstrated the importance of simplicity. His approach to self-care wasn't complicated or elaborate. It was rooted in simple practices that nourished his mind, body, and spirit. Whether it was through a quiet walk, a moment of reflection, or time spent in nature, Marcus found renewal in the simplest of activities. This simplicity allowed him to maintain his self-care practices no matter how busy his schedule became. This balance also helped Marcus stay grounded in the present moment. By taking time for self-care, he ensured that he didn't become consumed by the future or weighed down by the past. Self-care gave Marcus the space to focus on the present, allowing him to approach each moment with clarity and intention. This presence of mind was crucial to his ability to make wise decisions and lead effectively. Through this balance, Marcus also cultivated a sense of humility. He knew that he couldn't do everything on his own, and that taking time for self-care was a way of acknowledging his limitations. This humility helped him avoid the trap of thinking that constant work was the answer to every problem. Instead, Marcus recognized that rest and renewal were just as important to his success as hard work. In balancing work and self-care, Marcus also nurtured his creativity. By stepping away from the demands of his role, he allowed his mind the space to wander and explore new ideas. This creative renewal helped him approach problems with fresh perspectives and find innovative solutions. Self-care wasn't just about rest. It was about creating the mental space for inspiration and creativity to flourish. This balance also helped Marcus maintain strong relationships. By taking time for self-care, he ensured that he had the emotional capacity to be present with others. Whether it was his family, friends, or colleagues, Marcus was able to engage meaningfully in his relationships because he wasn't drained by overwork. This balance allowed him to nurture connections that were vital to his personal and professional life. Through his approach to balance, Marcus also reinforced his commitment to lifelong growth. He knew that personal development required not only effort, but also time for reflection and renewal. By balancing work with self-care, Marcus ensured that he remained open to growth, always learning from his experiences and refining his approach to life. This commitment to growth was key to his ability to lead with wisdom and compassion. This balance also helped Marcus cultivate patience. He understood that achieving his goals and fulfilling his responsibilities required sustained effort over time. By pacing himself and allowing for moments of rest, Marcus ensured that he didn't become frustrated by the slow pace of progress. This patience helped him stay committed to his work, knowing that lasting change took time. Through this balance, Marcus also developed resilience. He knew that life's challenges were inevitable, but by taking time for self-care, he built the mental and emotional strength to face them with grace. This resilience wasn't about pushing through exhaustion, but about knowing when to step back and recharge. By caring for himself, Marcus ensured that he had the strength to keep going, no matter what challenges arose. This practice of balance also reinforced Marcus's sense of self-compassion. He knew that he didn't need to be perfect or to push himself beyond his limits. By taking time for self-care, Marcus acknowledged his humanity and gave himself permission to rest. This self-compassion allowed him to continue growing without being weighed down by the pressure of constant productivity. Through his approach to balance, Marcus also cultivated a sense of gratitude. He recognized the importance of both work and renewal in his life, and he was thankful for the opportunities to engage in both. This gratitude helped him maintain a positive outlook, even during challenging times. By appreciating the balance he had created, Marcus found contentment in both his work and his moments of rest. This balance also helped Marcus maintain a sense of perspective. By taking time for self-care, he ensured that he didn't become consumed by the demands of his role. This perspective allowed him to approach his work with clarity, knowing that his worth wasn't solely defined by his productivity. This sense of perspective helped Marcus lead with humility and wisdom, always focused on the bigger picture. Through this balance, Marcus also cultivated emotional stability. By regularly taking time to care for himself, he was better able to manage the stress and emotions that came with his role. Self-care gave him the space to process his feelings and recharge, ensuring that he didn't become overwhelmed by the pressures of leadership. This emotional stability allowed him to remain calm and centered, even in the face of difficult decisions or crises. This practice of balance also helped Marcus avoid the trap of burnout. He knew that working non-stop would only lead to exhaustion and diminish his effectiveness as a leader. By regularly taking time for self-care, Marcus ensured that he could continue to work at a high level without sacrificing his health or well-being. This balance allowed him to sustain his productivity over the long term, ensuring that he could meet the demands of leadership with energy and focus. Through this approach, Marcus developed a deep sense of fulfillment. He understood that a well-rounded life required both meaningful work and time for renewal. By balancing the two, Marcus found a sense of satisfaction that went beyond mere achievement. This fulfillment came from knowing that he was living in alignment with his values, caring for both his responsibilities and his well-being. This balance also helped Marcus maintain a sense of joy in his work. By ensuring that he took time for self-care, he prevented work from becoming a source of frustration or exhaustion. Instead, he approached his duties with a sense of purpose and enthusiasm, knowing that he had the energy and focus to meet each day's challenges. This joy in work came from the knowledge that he was taking care of himself, allowing him to bring his best self to everything he did. Through his approach to balancing work and self-care, Marcus Aurelius demonstrated that true success isn't just about productivity. It's about creating a life that nurtures both personal well-being and professional excellence. By finding this balance, Marcus ensured that he could meet the demands of leadership without sacrificing his inner peace. His approach offers a timeless lesson for anyone seeking to lead a life of purpose, strength, and fulfillment. After mastering the balance between work and self-care, Marcus Aurelius also relied on a steady practice that kept him calm and focused throughout his demanding days: Stoic mindfulness. This practice was not about avoiding the challenges of life, but about engaging with them from a place of deep presence and tranquility. Marcus knew that staying grounded in the present moment, without letting his mind get lost in worries about the future or regrets about the past, was essential to maintaining his clarity and focus. This practice of mindfulness allowed him to meet each moment with calmness and intention, regardless of the chaos that surrounded him. For Marcus, mindfulness wasn't a separate activity, but a state of being woven into every aspect of his day. Whether he was handling matters of state, facing personal challenges, or simply walking through his gardens, he practiced being fully present. This presence gave him the ability to see situations clearly, free from emotional reactions or distractions. By grounding himself in the here and now, Marcus could make decisions with wisdom and patience, without being overwhelmed by the pressures of his responsibilities. This practice of mindfulness allowed Marcus to pause before reacting to situations, giving him the space to choose his response carefully. He understood that much of the suffering in life came not from the events themselves, but from how people reacted to them. By cultivating mindfulness, Marcus gained control over his reactions, ensuring that he responded to challenges with thoughtfulness rather than impulsiveness. This calm, deliberate approach was key to his ability to lead with grace and wisdom, even in times of great difficulty. Stoic mindfulness also helped Marcus maintain emotional equilibrium. He knew that emotions could cloud judgment and lead to unwise decisions if left unchecked. By staying present, Marcus could observe his emotions without becoming consumed by them. This practice didn't mean suppressing or ignoring his feelings. Instead, it allowed him to acknowledge them without letting them take control. By staying aware of his emotional state, Marcus remained steady and composed, even in the face of intense pressure. Through mindfulness, Marcus also cultivated a deep sense of patience. He understood that life unfolded in its own time, and that rushing through the day or becoming frustrated by delays only led to unnecessary stress. By staying present, Marcus embraced the pace of life, knowing that each moment had its own value. This patience helped him remain calm and focused, even when things didn't go as planned, allowing him to handle setbacks with grace and resilience. This practice of mindfulness also allowed Marcus to appreciate the small moments in life, even amidst the weight of his responsibilities. Whether it was the stillness of the early morning, the beauty of nature, or the simple act of breathing, Marcus found peace in the present. This ability to find contentment in the ordinary moments of life helped him maintain a sense of inner peace, no matter what challenges the day brought. Through mindfulness, Marcus also developed the ability to step back from the noise of daily life and observe it with clarity. This detachment allowed him to see situations objectively, free from the emotional entanglements that often cloud judgment. By observing his thoughts and reactions with curiosity rather than attachment, Marcus could approach each situation with a clear mind, ensuring that his decisions were based on reason rather than impulse. Stoic mindfulness also helped Marcus cultivate resilience. He knew that life was full of challenges, but by staying present, he could meet those challenges with calm determination. Instead of becoming overwhelmed by the scope of his responsibilities, Marcus focused on what was directly in front of him, taking each task one step at a time. This focus helped him maintain his energy and avoid becoming overwhelmed, allowing him to navigate even the most difficult days with composure. Through this practice, Marcus also learned to embrace uncertainty. He understood that much of life was beyond his control, but by staying grounded in the present moment, he could face the unknown with confidence. Mindfulness helped Marcus let go of the need for certainty or control, allowing him to approach life's unpredictability with openness and acceptance. This ability to remain calm in the face of uncertainty was one of the cornerstones of his strength as a leader. By practicing mindfulness throughout the day, Marcus also developed a sense of presence in his relationships. Whether he was speaking with advisors, interacting with his family, or addressing the public, he was fully engaged in each conversation. This presence allowed him to listen deeply and respond with thoughtfulness, ensuring that his interactions were meaningful and respectful. By staying present in his relationships, Marcus built trust and strengthened his connections with others. Mindfulness also helped Marcus maintain his focus amidst the constant demands of leadership. With so many tasks competing for his attention, it would have been easy to become scattered or distracted. But by staying present, Marcus was able to give his full attention to each task, ensuring that he approached his work with care and precision. This ability to focus deeply on the task at hand allowed him to be more productive and effective in his role. Through mindfulness, Marcus also developed a greater sense of self-awareness. By observing his thoughts, emotions, and actions throughout the day, he gained insight into his own mind. This self-awareness helped him understand his patterns of behavior and thought, allowing him to make adjustments where needed. By staying present with himself, Marcus ensured that he continued to grow and improve, always striving to become a better version of himself. This practice also helped Marcus cultivate gratitude. By staying present, he was able to appreciate the simple pleasures of life, from the warmth of the sun to the quiet of the night. This sense of gratitude helped Marcus maintain a positive outlook, even in the face of challenges. By focusing on what was good in each moment, he nurtured a sense of contentment that sustained him through the difficulties of leadership. Mindfulness also helped Marcus avoid becoming lost in the future. While planning for the future was an important part of his role as emperor, Marcus knew that getting too caught up in what might happen could lead to anxiety and distraction. By staying focused on the present, he ensured that his mind remained clear and calm, allowing him to approach future challenges with confidence rather than worry. Through this practice, Marcus also developed a deep sense of inner peace. He knew that the chaos of the world would never fully disappear, but by staying grounded in the present moment, he could find stillness within himself. This inner peace wasn't about avoiding life's challenges, it was about facing them with a calm and centered mind. By cultivating mindfulness, Marcus ensured that his peace of mind wasn't dependent on external circumstances, but came from within. Mindfulness also helped Marcus develop a sense of balance. He understood that life was a constant interplay of activity and rest, and by staying present, he could navigate this balance more effectively. Whether he was engaged in work or taking time for self-care, Marcus practiced being fully present in each moment, allowing him to find harmony between productivity and renewal. This practice also allowed Marcus to handle difficult emotions with greater ease. Instead of being swept away by anger, frustration, or fear, Marcus used mindfulness to observe his emotions without being controlled by them. This ability to stay present with his feelings allowed him to process them in a healthy way, ensuring that they didn't cloud his judgment or disrupt his inner peace. Through mindfulness, Marcus also developed a sense of clarity in his decision-making. By staying focused on the present, he could see situations more clearly, free from the distortions of fear, desire, or attachment. This clarity helped him make wise decisions that were aligned with his values and the greater good, ensuring that his leadership was guided by reason rather than emotion. Mindfulness also helped Marcus avoid the trap of overthinking. He knew that getting caught up in endless thoughts or worries would only drain his energy and focus. By staying present, Marcus could quiet the noise of his mind and approach each situation with a sense of calm and purpose. This ability to quiet his mind allowed him to conserve his mental energy and stay focused on what truly mattered. Through this practice, Marcus also developed a deeper connection to his body. By staying present throughout the day, he became more aware of how his body was feeling, whether it needed rest, movement, or nourishment. This awareness helped Marcus take better care of his physical health, ensuring that he remained strong and energized to meet the demands of leadership. Mindfulness also helped Marcus cultivate a sense of compassion, both for himself and others. By staying present, he was able to approach each situation with empathy and understanding, seeing things from multiple perspectives. This compassion helped him navigate conflicts with patience and kindness, ensuring that his actions were guided by care for others. Through mindfulness, Marcus also developed the ability to let go of what he couldn't control. By staying focused on the present moment, he was able to release his attachment to outcomes and trust that he was doing his best. This ability to let go gave Marcus a sense of freedom, allowing him to approach life with openness and acceptance rather than fear or frustration. This practice also helped Marcus build mental resilience. By staying present with whatever arose throughout the day, whether it was a challenge, a setback, or a success, he strengthened his ability to handle life's ups and downs with grace. This resilience wasn't about avoiding difficulties, but about meeting them with a calm and focused mind, knowing that he had the inner strength to navigate them. Mindfulness also helped Marcus develop a sense of trust in himself. By staying present and grounded, he gained confidence in his ability to handle whatever challenges came his way. This trust allowed Marcus to approach life with courage, knowing that he had the resources within himself to meet any situation with wisdom and clarity. Through this practice, Marcus also deepened his understanding of impermanence. By staying present, he became more aware of the fleeting nature of each moment, knowing that both joys and challenges would pass. This understanding helped him maintain a sense of equanimity, allowing him to appreciate the good moments without clinging to them and to face the difficult ones without being overwhelmed. Mindfulness also helped Marcus maintain a sense of purpose. By staying present, he remained connected to his values and goals, ensuring that his actions were always aligned with his deeper sense of meaning. This connection to purpose helped Marcus stay focused on what truly mattered, even amidst the distractions of daily life. Through mindfulness, Marcus also cultivated a sense of gratitude for the challenges he faced. He knew that each difficulty was an opportunity to grow and learn, and by staying present, he could approach challenges with curiosity rather than resistance. This mindset helped Marcus turn obstacles into opportunities, allowing him to grow stronger and wiser with each experience. This practice also helped Marcus develop emotional flexibility. By staying present, he became more adaptable to life's changes, allowing him to move through difficult emotions without getting stuck. This flexibility helped Marcus remain resilient in the face of adversity, ensuring that he could continue to grow and evolve no matter what life brought his way. Through mindfulness, Marcus also developed a sense of acceptance. He knew that life was full of challenges, but by staying present, he could face those challenges with an open heart and mind. This acceptance wasn't about giving up. It was about embracing life as it was, with all its uncertainties and imperfections. By practicing acceptance, Marcus was able to find peace, even in the midst of life's storms. Mindfulness also helped Marcus cultivate a sense of joy in the present moment. By staying present, he could find beauty and meaning in even the simplest experiences, from a quiet moment of reflection to the sound of the wind. This ability to find joy in the present helped Marcus maintain a sense of contentment and peace, no matter what challenges he faced. Through this practice, Marcus also deepened his connection to others. By staying present in his interactions, he was able to truly listen and engage with those around him. This presence allowed Marcus to build deeper, more meaningful relationships, ensuring that his connections with others were based on mutual respect and understanding. Mindfulness also helped Marcus develop a sense of inner strength. By staying present, he cultivated the mental and emotional resources needed to face life's challenges with courage and determination. This inner strength allowed Marcus to remain steady and focused, no matter what obstacles arose. Through mindfulness, Marcus also developed a deeper sense of trust in the process of life. By staying present, he was able to let go of the need to control every outcome and trust that things would unfold as they were meant to. This trust gave Marcus a sense of freedom and peace, allowing him to approach life with openness and acceptance. This practice of mindfulness allowed Marcus to live each day with clarity, purpose, and peace. By staying grounded in the present, he ensured that he could meet each moment with calmness and focus, no matter what challenges arose. This practice of Stoic mindfulness was the foundation of his strength as a leader and as a person, guiding him through life with wisdom, resilience, and inner peace. As Marcus Aurelius mastered the practice of mindfulness, he also understood that one of the most powerful virtues he could cultivate was patience. In the face of difficult situations and challenging people, Marcus remained calm and composed, a testament to the strength of his Stoic teachings. Patience wasn't simply waiting for something to pass. It was an active choice to remain steady, thoughtful, and deliberate. This calm presence, no matter the adversity, allowed Marcus to face even the most difficult circumstances with grace and wisdom. Marcus Aurelius's ability to stay patient didn't come from avoiding frustration or stress. Instead, he faced these emotions head-on and chose how he would respond to them. He knew that while he couldn't control the behavior of others or the events around him, he could control his own reactions. This understanding helped him cultivate patience in the midst of chaos, ensuring that he could make clear, reasoned decisions even when emotions were running high. Through his Stoic philosophy, Marcus learned that patience was not about suppressing frustration, but about acknowledging it and choosing not to be ruled by it. He often reminded himself that anger or irritation would only cloud his judgment and lead him away from his goals. By practicing patience, Marcus could rise above the noise of immediate emotions and focus on what truly mattered. This perspective allowed him to stay calm, even when faced with those who tested his limits. Marcus also practiced patience by accepting that some things took time to unfold. He understood that forcing outcomes or trying to rush results would often lead to more problems. Instead, he embraced the natural pace of life, trusting that with steady effort and persistence, things would work out in their own time. This long-term view helped Marcus remain composed when progress seemed slow, knowing that patience would ultimately yield better results. This cultivation of patience also extended to Marcus's interactions with difficult people. He knew that everyone was dealing with their own struggles and imperfections, and that reacting with anger or frustration would only escalate conflicts. By practicing patience, Marcus was able to see past others' faults and approach them with understanding. This allowed him to navigate even the most challenging relationships with composure and empathy, ensuring that he maintained harmony in his interactions. Marcus's patience also helped him manage the unpredictability of life. He recognized that unexpected challenges were inevitable and that fighting against them would only lead to frustration. Instead of resisting the natural flow of events, Marcus practiced patience by accepting what he couldn't control and focusing on what he could. This acceptance didn't mean passivity, it meant acting thoughtfully and with intention, rather than reacting impulsively to every setback. Through his Stoic teachings, Marcus also learned that patience was key to personal growth. He knew that developing virtues like wisdom, courage, and resilience took time and consistent effort. By being patient with himself, Marcus allowed room for mistakes and setbacks, understanding that each one was an opportunity to learn and improve. This self-compassion helped him stay committed to his personal journey, even when progress seemed slow. The practice of patience also allowed Marcus to stay focused on his long-term goals. He knew that great accomplishments didn't happen overnight, and that rushing through tasks would only compromise their quality. By approaching each task with patience and care, Marcus ensured that he did his best work, even if it took longer than expected. This commitment to quality over speed was a hallmark of his leadership and personal philosophy. Marcus also practiced patience by managing his expectations. He knew that expecting everything to go smoothly or perfectly would only lead to disappointment. Instead, he prepared himself for challenges and setbacks so that when they came, he could face them with patience and resilience. This mindset allowed him to stay calm in the face of adversity, knowing that difficulties were a natural part of life's journey. Through his practice of patience, Marcus developed a deep sense of inner strength. He understood that patience wasn't a passive virtue, but one that required great mental and emotional fortitude. By choosing to remain calm and composed in difficult situations, Marcus strengthened his ability to handle stress and adversity. This inner strength helped him navigate the pressures of leadership and personal challenges with grace. This patience also extended to how Marcus viewed his own emotions. He knew that feelings of anger, frustration, or impatience were natural, but he didn't allow them to dictate his actions. Instead, he observed his emotions with curiosity and chose how to respond to them. By practicing patience with his own emotional state, Marcus developed greater self-control, ensuring that his decisions were guided by reason rather than impulse. Patience also helped Marcus cultivate a sense of acceptance. He knew that life wouldn't always go the way he wanted, but by practicing patience, he could find peace in the midst of uncertainty. This acceptance didn't mean giving up. It meant understanding that some things were beyond his control and focusing his energy on what he could influence. This perspective allowed Marcus to remain calm, even when faced with difficult circumstances. Through his Stoic philosophy, Marcus learned that patience was closely tied to wisdom. He understood that hasty decisions or impulsive reactions often led to regret. By practicing patience, Marcus gave himself the space to think clearly and make thoughtful choices. This wisdom helped him avoid unnecessary conflict and ensured that his actions were aligned with his values. Patience also played a key role in Marcus's ability to remain resilient in the face of setbacks. He knew that success wasn't a straight line and that obstacles were a natural part of the process. By practicing patience, Marcus could stay focused on his goals, even when progress seemed slow. This resilience allowed him to persevere through challenges, knowing that with time and effort, he would eventually achieve his objectives. Marcus also practiced patience by trusting in the process of life. He understood that some things couldn't be rushed, and that trying to force outcomes would only lead to frustration. By embracing patience, Marcus allowed life to unfold naturally, trusting that with steady effort and persistence, he would achieve his goals. This trust in the process gave him a sense of peace and allowed him to approach each day with calmness and clarity. Patience also helped Marcus develop deeper relationships with others. He knew that everyone had their own struggles and imperfections, and that reacting with frustration or anger would only push people away. By practicing patience, Marcus was able to approach others with compassion and understanding, strengthening his connections with those around him. This patience in relationships helped him build trust and maintain harmony, even in difficult situations. Through his practice of patience, Marcus also learned the importance of pacing himself. He knew that trying to do everything at once would only lead to burnout. By practicing patience, Marcus ensured that he approached his work and personal life with a steady, sustainable pace. This allowed him to maintain his energy and focus, ensuring that he could meet the demands of leadership without sacrificing his well-being. Patience also helped Marcus develop a sense of contentment. He knew that constantly striving for more, without appreciating what he already had, would lead to a sense of dissatisfaction. By practicing patience, Marcus allowed himself to enjoy the present moment, knowing that everything would unfold in its own time. This contentment helped him maintain a sense of peace and gratitude, even when things didn't go as planned. Through his Stoic teachings, Marcus also learned that patience was a form of discipline. It required him to resist the urge to react impulsively and to choose a more thoughtful, measured response. This discipline helped Marcus stay focused on his long-term goals, ensuring that he didn't get distracted by short-term frustrations or setbacks. By practicing patience, Marcus strengthened his ability to remain disciplined and committed to his path. Patience also helped Marcus cultivate a sense of perspective. He knew that in the grand scheme of life, many of the challenges he faced were temporary. By practicing patience, Marcus was able to step back and see the bigger picture, knowing that with time, most problems would resolve themselves. This perspective helped him stay calm and focused, even in the midst of difficult situations. Through his practice of patience, Marcus also developed a greater sense of self-awareness. He knew that impatience often stemmed from his own expectations or desires, and by practicing patience, he could observe these tendencies without letting them control him. This self-awareness helped Marcus stay grounded and in control of his reactions, ensuring that he approached life with calmness and clarity. Patience also allowed Marcus to build resilience in the face of failure. He knew that mistakes and setbacks were a natural part of the learning process, and by practicing patience, he could learn from these experiences without becoming discouraged. This resilience allowed Marcus to keep moving forward, even when progress was slow or difficult. Through his Stoic philosophy, Marcus also learned that patience was essential for maintaining emotional stability. He knew that reacting impulsively to challenges would only lead to emotional turmoil. By practicing patience, Marcus was able to stay calm and centered, ensuring that his emotions didn't get the best of him. This emotional stability helped him navigate the pressures of leadership with grace and wisdom. Patience also played a key role in Marcus's ability to remain composed in the face of conflict. He knew that reacting with anger or frustration would only escalate tensions, so he practiced patience in his interactions with others. By staying calm and composed, Marcus was able to diffuse conflicts and find peaceful solutions, ensuring that he maintained harmony in his relationships. Through his practice of patience, Marcus also learned the importance of being present. He knew that impatience often stemmed from a desire to be somewhere else or to have things happen faster. By practicing patience, Marcus allowed himself to fully engage with the present moment, knowing that each moment had its own value. This presence of mind helped him approach life with greater clarity and purpose. Patience also helped Marcus cultivate a sense of humility. He knew that not everything would go his way, and by practicing patience, he could accept life's challenges with grace. This humility helped Marcus avoid the frustration that often comes from trying to control everything, allowing him to approach life with openness and acceptance. Through his Stoic teachings, Marcus also learned that patience was a form of self-compassion. He knew that he wasn't perfect and that he would make mistakes along the way. By practicing patience with himself, Marcus allowed room for growth and learning without being too hard on himself. This self-compassion helped him stay motivated and committed to his personal journey. Patience also played a key role in Marcus's ability to manage stress. He knew that trying to rush through tasks or force outcomes would only lead to more stress. By practicing patience, Marcus allowed himself to approach each task with calmness and focus, ensuring that he didn't become overwhelmed by the demands of leadership. Through his practice of patience, Marcus also developed a deeper sense of trust in himself. He knew that by remaining calm and composed, he could handle any challenge that came his way. This trust allowed Marcus to approach life with confidence, knowing that he had the inner strength to face whatever obstacles arose. Patience also helped Marcus cultivate a sense of gratitude. He knew that by being patient, he could appreciate the journey, rather than constantly focusing on the destination. This gratitude helped Marcus maintain a positive outlook, even when progress seemed slow or difficult. Through his Stoic teachings, Marcus also learned that patience was essential for building strong relationships. He knew that reacting with frustration or impatience would only push people away, so he practiced patience in his interactions with others. This patience allowed Marcus to build trust and deepen his connections with those around him, ensuring that his relationships were based on mutual respect and understanding. Patience also helped Marcus develop a sense of acceptance. He knew that life wouldn't always go the way he wanted, but by practicing patience, he could find peace in the midst of uncertainty. This acceptance didn't mean giving up. It meant understanding that some things were beyond his control and focusing his energy on what he could influence. Through his practice of patience, Marcus also developed a greater sense of resilience. He knew that challenges and setbacks were a natural part of life, and by practicing patience, he could face them with grace and determination. This resilience allowed Marcus to keep moving forward, even when the path was difficult. Patience also helped Marcus cultivate a sense of balance. He knew that life was a constant interplay of activity and rest, and by practicing patience, he could navigate this balance more effectively. Whether he was engaged in work or taking time for self-care, Marcus practiced being patient with himself and the process, ensuring that he maintained harmony in his life. Through his Stoic teachings, Marcus also learned that patience was essential for maintaining inner peace. He knew that reacting impulsively to challenges would only lead to turmoil. By practicing patience, Marcus was able to stay calm and centered, ensuring that his peace of mind wasn't disturbed by external events. Patience also played a key role in Marcus's ability to stay focused on his long-term goals. He knew that great accomplishments didn't happen overnight, and by practicing patience, he could stay committed to his path, even when progress was slow. This focus helped Marcus achieve his goals without becoming discouraged by short-term setbacks. Through his practice of patience, Marcus also developed a deeper sense of self-awareness. He knew that impatience often stemmed from his own desires or expectations, and by practicing patience, he could observe these tendencies without letting them control him. This self-awareness helped Marcus stay grounded and in control of his reactions, ensuring that he approached life with calmness and clarity. Patience also allowed Marcus to build resilience in the face of failure. He knew that mistakes and setbacks were a natural part of the learning process, and by practicing patience, he could learn from these experiences without becoming discouraged. This resilience allowed Marcus to keep moving forward, even when progress was slow or difficult. Through his Stoic philosophy, Marcus also learned that patience was essential for maintaining emotional stability. He knew that reacting impulsively to challenges would only lead to emotional turmoil. By practicing patience, Marcus was able to stay calm and centered, ensuring that his emotions didn't get the best of him. This emotional stability helped him navigate the pressures of leadership with grace and wisdom. Patience also played a key role in Marcus's ability to remain composed in the face of conflict. He knew that reacting with anger or frustration would only escalate tensions, so he practiced patience in his interactions with others. By staying calm and composed, Marcus was able to diffuse conflicts and find peaceful solutions, ensuring that he maintained harmony in his relationships. Through his practice of patience, Marcus also learned the importance of being present. He knew that impatience often stemmed from a desire to be somewhere else or to have things happen faster. By practicing patience, Marcus allowed himself to fully engage with the present moment, knowing that each moment had its own value. Patience also helped Marcus cultivate a sense of humility. He knew that not everything would go his way, and by practicing patience, he could accept life's challenges with grace. This humility helped Marcus avoid the frustration that often comes from trying to control everything, allowing him to approach life with openness and acceptance. In his daily life, Marcus Aurelius's ability to stay calm in difficult situations was deeply rooted in his practiced patience. He cultivated this virtue not only through intellectual understanding, but through the consistent application of Stoic principles, helping him remain composed, focused, and resilient no matter what challenges arose. As Marcus Aurelius mastered the art of patience, he discovered that another essential practice for maintaining inner peace and resilience was gratitude, even in the most trying times. Despite the immense weight of leadership and the challenges he faced, whether political turmoil, personal loss, or the demands of ruling an empire, Marcus continually grounded himself in a mindset of gratitude. This wasn't a superficial acknowledgement of the good things in life, but a deep, deliberate practice that helped him find light in the darkest of situations. It was through this steady reflection on what he was grateful for that Marcus managed to keep perspective, maintain his composure, and stay focused on what truly mattered. Gratitude for Marcus Aurelius was a conscious choice, an act of discipline that he incorporated into his daily reflections. He recognized that adversity was inevitable, but within each difficult moment, there was always something to be thankful for. This mindset didn't deny the existence of hardship. Instead, it allowed Marcus to face challenges without being overwhelmed by them. Gratitude became his anchor, enabling him to see beyond immediate struggles and appreciate the broader lessons that life was offering. In his practice of gratitude, Marcus found strength in simple things. While ruling an empire meant dealing with grand issues of war, famine, and politics, he reminded himself to appreciate the small, everyday moments that brought him peace. Whether it was the beauty of nature, the wisdom of a philosopher, or even the opportunity to grow through hardship, Marcus Aurelius trained his mind to look for what was good, even when the weight of responsibility threatened to crush him. Through his Stoic philosophy, Marcus Aurelius understood that life's challenges were not inherently negative. They were opportunities for growth, and by being grateful for these experiences, he shifted his perspective from one of suffering to one of learning. This gratitude for adversity wasn't about denying the pain or difficulty, but about recognizing the value in each struggle. By appreciating the lessons hidden within hardships, Marcus was able to navigate life's storms with resilience and wisdom. Gratitude also helped Marcus manage his emotions. When faced with frustration, anger, or despair, he turned his thoughts toward what he could be thankful for. This shift in focus helped him release negative emotions and cultivate a more positive mindset. It wasn't that Marcus ignored his feelings, he acknowledged them fully, but gratitude gave him the space to process them without being consumed by them. In this way, gratitude became a tool for emotional regulation, allowing Marcus to stay calm and composed. This practice of gratitude also helped Marcus maintain his humility. Despite being the most powerful man in the world, he never lost sight of the fact that much of his life was shaped by forces beyond his control. By regularly reflecting on what he was grateful for, Marcus reminded himself of the fragility of life and the importance of staying grounded. This humility allowed him to approach his role with a sense of service rather than entitlement, knowing that even his power was temporary and subject to change. Gratitude also played a key role in helping Marcus deal with personal loss. Throughout his life, he experienced the deaths of loved ones, including his children. These losses were deeply painful, but instead of succumbing to despair, Marcus found solace in gratitude. He reflected on the time he had with those he loved, cherishing the memories rather than dwelling solely on the absence. This gratitude for what had been, rather than focusing on what was lost, allowed him to grieve with grace and find peace, even in sorrow. In his writings, Marcus often reminded himself to be grateful for the simple fact of being alive. He saw each day as a gift, an opportunity to learn, grow, and serve. This perspective helped him stay motivated, even when the demands of leadership were overwhelming. By beginning each day with gratitude, Marcus set a tone of appreciation that carried him through even the most difficult tasks. It was this mindset that allowed him to face the burdens of power without being crushed by them. Through gratitude, Marcus also cultivated a sense of contentment. He understood that constantly striving for more, whether more power, more success, or more comfort, would only lead to dissatisfaction. Instead, he focused on appreciating what he already had. This practice of contentment didn't mean that Marcus stopped working toward his goals. Rather, it allowed him to do so from a place of peace, knowing that his worth wasn't tied to external achievements, but to the inner richness of his character. Gratitude helped Marcus remain connected to the present moment. In the midst of planning for the future or reflecting on the past, he practiced being thankful for what was happening right now. This present-focused gratitude allowed Marcus to fully engage with life as it unfolded, rather than getting lost in worries or regrets. By grounding himself in the present, Marcus was able to meet each challenge with clarity and calm. Through his practice of gratitude, Marcus also deepened his connection to others. He regularly reflected on the people who supported him, whether it was family, friends, or advisors. By appreciating the contributions of others, Marcus cultivated a sense of gratitude that strengthened his relationships. This gratitude wasn't just about feeling thankful. It was about expressing that appreciation in his interactions, showing kindness and respect to those around him. Gratitude also helped Marcus deal with criticism. As a leader, he was often the target of scrutiny and judgment, but instead of becoming defensive, Marcus chose to be grateful for the opportunity to learn from his critics. He saw their feedback as a chance to improve and grow, rather than as a personal attack. This mindset allowed him to remain open to criticism without letting it undermine his confidence or sense of self-worth. Through his Stoic philosophy, Marcus learned that gratitude was closely tied to acceptance. He knew that life wouldn't always go the way he wanted, but by practicing gratitude, he could accept whatever came his way with grace. This acceptance didn't mean passivity. It meant finding peace in the midst of uncertainty and change. By being grateful for each experience, Marcus was able to approach life's unpredictability with a sense of calm and trust. Gratitude also helped Marcus navigate the pressures of leadership. He understood that ruling an empire was a heavy burden, but instead of feeling weighed down by responsibility, he chose to be thankful for the opportunity to serve. This sense of purpose fueled his dedication, allowing him to lead with compassion and wisdom. By focusing on the positive aspects of his role, Marcus was able to stay motivated and energized, even when the challenges seemed insurmountable. Through gratitude, Marcus also developed a greater appreciation for the natural world. In his writings, he often reflected on the beauty of nature, from the changing seasons to the constancy of the stars. This gratitude for the world around him helped Marcus maintain a sense of wonder and humility, reminding him that he was just one small part of a much larger universe. This perspective allowed him to stay grounded, even in the face of overwhelming power and responsibility. Gratitude also played a key role in helping Marcus manage stress. He knew that the demands of leadership could be overwhelming, but by focusing on what he was thankful for, Marcus was able to release some of the tension and find peace. This practice of gratitude wasn't about ignoring the challenges he faced. It was about shifting his perspective so that he could approach them with a calm and clear mind. Through his practice of gratitude, Marcus also developed a deeper sense of resilience. He understood that life would always present challenges, but by being grateful for the lessons these challenges brought, he was able to grow stronger with each experience. This resilience allowed Marcus to face adversity with courage and determination, knowing that each difficulty was an opportunity for growth. Gratitude also helped Marcus maintain a sense of joy, even in difficult times. He knew that life's hardships could easily overshadow its joys, but by actively practicing gratitude, he ensured that he didn't lose sight of the good things. This joy wasn't dependent on external circumstances. It came from within, from a deep appreciation for the simple fact of being alive and experiencing all that life had to offer. Through his Stoic teachings, Marcus also learned that gratitude was essential for cultivating inner peace. He knew that constantly striving for more, without appreciating what he already had, would only lead to a restless mind. By practicing gratitude, Marcus was able to quiet the constant noise of desire and ambition, finding a sense of contentment that brought him lasting peace. Gratitude also helped Marcus maintain his sense of perspective. He knew that many of the challenges he faced, while difficult, were temporary. By focusing on what he was thankful for, Marcus was able to see the bigger picture, knowing that life's difficulties would pass in time. This perspective allowed him to approach challenges with patience and resilience, knowing that he had the strength to endure whatever came his way. Through his practice of gratitude, Marcus also developed a greater sense of self-awareness. He knew that feelings of dissatisfaction or frustration often stemmed from his own expectations, and by practicing gratitude, he could shift his focus away from what he lacked and toward what he already had. This self-awareness helped Marcus stay grounded and in control of his emotions, ensuring that he approached life with calmness and clarity. Gratitude also played a key role in helping Marcus build stronger relationships. He knew that expressing appreciation for others wasn't just about feeling thankful, it was about showing that gratitude in his actions. By regularly acknowledging the contributions of those around him, Marcus was able to strengthen his connections and foster a sense of mutual respect and trust. Through gratitude, Marcus also developed a deeper sense of acceptance. He knew that life wouldn't always go the way he wanted, but by practicing gratitude, he could find peace in the midst of uncertainty. This acceptance didn't mean giving up. It meant embracing life as it was, with all its imperfections and challenges. By being grateful for each experience, Marcus was able to approach life with openness and trust, knowing that everything had its purpose. Gratitude also helped Marcus maintain a sense of hope, even in the face of adversity. He knew that life could be difficult, but by focusing on what he was thankful for, Marcus was able to find hope in the midst of hardship. This hope wasn't based on wishful thinking. It came from a deep belief that, no matter how challenging life became, there was always something to be grateful for. Through his practice of gratitude, Marcus also developed a greater sense of purpose. He knew that life's challenges weren't obstacles to be avoided, they were opportunities for growth and learning. By being grateful for each challenge, Marcus found a deeper sense of meaning in his life, knowing that every experience was a chance to become wiser and stronger. Gratitude also helped Marcus develop a sense of humility. He knew that much of what he had in life, whether it was power, knowledge, or success, was the result of factors beyond his control. By regularly reflecting on what he was thankful for, Marcus reminded himself of the importance of staying grounded and humble, knowing that life could change at any moment. Through gratitude, Marcus also developed a deeper connection to his own values. He knew that life's challenges could easily distract him from what truly mattered, but by practicing gratitude, he was able to stay focused on his core values. This connection to his values helped Marcus navigate difficult decisions with clarity and integrity, ensuring that his actions were aligned with his beliefs. Gratitude also played a key role in helping Marcus manage his responsibilities. He knew that the demands of leadership could be overwhelming, but by focusing on what he was thankful for, Marcus was able to stay motivated and energized. This practice of gratitude helped him approach his work with a sense of purpose and dedication, knowing that his role was a privilege rather than a burden. Through his Stoic teachings, Marcus also learned that gratitude was essential for maintaining a sense of inner strength. He knew that life's challenges could easily wear him down, but by being grateful for the lessons these challenges brought, Marcus was able to build his resilience and stay strong in the face of adversity. Gratitude also helped Marcus develop a greater sense of patience. He knew that life didn't always unfold on his timeline, but by practicing gratitude, he was able to find peace in the process. This patience allowed Marcus to stay calm and composed, even when progress seemed slow or difficult, knowing that everything would happen in its own time. Through gratitude, Marcus also cultivated a sense of compassion, both for himself and others. He knew that everyone was dealing with their own struggles, and by practicing gratitude, he was able to approach others with empathy and understanding. This compassion helped Marcus navigate conflicts with kindness, ensuring that his actions were guided by care for others. Gratitude also played a key role in helping Marcus maintain his focus. He knew that life's challenges could easily distract him from his goals, but by regularly reflecting on what he was thankful for, Marcus was able to stay focused on what truly mattered. This focus helped him navigate the demands of leadership with clarity and determination, ensuring that he remained committed to his purpose. Through his practice of gratitude, Marcus also developed a deeper sense of peace. He knew that life would always present challenges, but by being grateful for each experience, Marcus was able to find a sense of calm and contentment, no matter what obstacles arose. This peace wasn't about avoiding life's difficulties, it was about facing them with a heart full of gratitude, knowing that each challenge was an opportunity for growth. Gratitude also helped Marcus maintain a sense of balance. He knew that life was a constant interplay of highs and lows, and by practicing gratitude, he was able to navigate these fluctuations with grace. Whether he was celebrating a victory or enduring a setback, Marcus remained grateful for the lessons each experience brought, allowing him to stay grounded and centered. Through his Stoic teachings, Marcus also learned that gratitude was essential for building resilience. He knew that life's challenges could easily wear him down, but by focusing on what he was thankful for, Marcus was able to build his strength and stay resilient. This resilience allowed him to face adversity with courage and determination, knowing that each challenge was an opportunity to grow. Gratitude also helped Marcus develop a greater sense of joy. He knew that life's challenges could easily overshadow its joys, but by actively practicing gratitude, he ensured that he didn't lose sight of the good things. This joy wasn't dependent on external circumstances. It came from within, from a deep appreciation for the simple fact of being alive. Through gratitude, Marcus also developed a deeper connection to the present moment. He knew that life was fleeting, and by practicing gratitude, he was able to fully engage with each moment as it unfolded. This presence allowed Marcus to appreciate the beauty of life, even in the midst of difficulty, and to find peace in the here and now. As you've now discovered, the daily routine of Marcus Aurelius wasn't just about discipline or power. It was about cultivating inner strength, wisdom, and resilience in the face of life's inevitable challenges. By adopting his practices, morning reflection, mindfulness, physical exercise, journaling, and the profound gratitude he carried even in adversity, you can start shaping your own life with the same calm and clarity that Marcus himself embodied. His way of life wasn't just for an emperor, it's a path we can all follow to live with purpose and peace. So, what will you incorporate into your routine? What part of Marcus Aurelius's practice speaks to you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights could inspire someone else on their journey. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more ways to elevate your life. Let's continue this journey together.